You know, it's funny that you asked right before hitting the record button whether or not I liked the movie, because I have news for you. Didn't.
Well, don't get right into it.
I think the most common phrase during this podcast is going to be, fuck this movie.
Don't say that.
Well, tell me I'm wrong.
What's, how do you pronounce the guy's name?
Let me just open this.
Yeah, I gotta get mine open too. Oh, yeah.
You know it's Chewy. You know full well that's what it is.
That is not... No, the director. What's his name?
Oh, Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo. So every time I look at you, I'm going to need you to say that, because I'm not going to be able to. Guillermo. Am I getting it right?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You sure are.
Sorry, I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult.
Channel your inner Spanish man.
Guillermo.
Oh,
del Toro.
dude. Or Italian or whatever he is. I don't know.
I don't... I just see him as like a half bull, half person.
But that's fine. Given his size, that's a pretty accurate thing to describe him as.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Not a small man, Guillermo.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Grindhouse Movie Club.
Grindhouse Movie Club.
And you know, I wouldn't have just jumped right in, but somebody had to ask me whether I liked the movie.
I didn't say. All I said was I hope you liked the movie.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Didn't. Didn't.
I don't deserve that impression.
No, I didn't like it either.
Oh, good.
I was agreeing with you.
I thought I was being made fun of.
You were, but also I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, fine.
It's probably the first time that's ever happened.
There's no way that's true.
Somebody's
Winter
agreed with
Beast.
somebody, but also made fun of them for doing so.
Oh.
You know?
Well, I mean, Black lives do matter.
Yes, they do. I've got nothing to say. other than I agree.
Well, how was your day off that I didn't get to have because I was at work?
Well, let me swig back this sparkling watermelon flavored water. As I tell you, I regale you of my day.
Yep.
Let's see. I got a haircut.
You did.
And then I finished the latter half with this bum.
This bum.
I sat with it unwiped for far too long, and now it's been wiped to completion. And by that I mean the movie.
You gotta get in there and make sure that you're cleaning up what's left over. Otherwise, it becomes irritating.
Yeah. You know what I really like is your tattoo because it's a gator.
It sure is.
And also now look at it.
Yeah. This is the flakiest thing that has ever existed on my body.
It looks like legitimate alligator flesh.
Yeah. I'm hoping it just stays this way forever.
That would be amazing.
It looks like a tectonic plate that's failing.
It looks like you need just a little bit of moisturizer.
I need more than a little. Let me tell you.
You need a little bit per square inch.
Yeah. So we might have to make a stop on my old drive home here and grab some of that maybe. It's got to be non-alcoholic and nobody has that. Because everything that's in moisturizer irritates the thing you're trying to moisten, which is fantastic.
Oh,
It's like chapstick.
That's what I love. I get really dry knuckles in the winter.
Yeah.
And cool. Let me put some moisturizer on there. Let me just. It's like putting my fingers and hands into an oven mitt full of bees. Or ants.
You're right.
Fire ants.
And then an hour later, let's run it back.
Yep.
Because that shit's only good for an hour, apparently.
Boy, oh boy. Yep, let me just close my palms without my skin popping and just... I don't know.
I know this problem well right now. Because this tattoo's on my forearm. It's a high function area. So, because I sleep with my arms bent sometimes, and so it'll heal that way, and then I wake up and the second I move it just splits open. So this is like really tiny, like microscopic, but it's a piece of advice for somebody who's getting like a very active area tattoo. It's gonna hurt after.
I feel like if I were to wipe my hand, there would just be like dust, just skin dust. Don't even. Oh, you're gonna do it. Oh,
there was some.
Oh, your phone had to jump.
It was so disgusted with my behavior.
Boy, oh boy. I wish your phone would get back from that ledge, my friend.
That's where it lives. Like me. On the edge.
It could cut ties with all the lives that it's been living in.
And look, you know more words to that song than I do.
And if you don't want to see me again, I would understand. That's me singing, but also jumping.
I also don't know who sings that at all.
Oh, neither. Yeah.
Natalie Imbruglia.
Blur? I don't know.
Blur.
It's
all the same from the 90s on the radio.
Honestly, I'm going to end the podcast, and then I'm going to like, shit. Let's make an amendment.
There you go.
To the podcast.
Damn. Now
an amendum.
You must have been practicing your pronunciation, because that's 2 words now that you were worried you weren't going to be able to say right, and then you just did fine.
I'm not unencumbered by opening my mouth too far and having hairs just jam in there.
Yeah, it's a free and clear mouth. It's like getting out of prison for the first time.
Doesn't that sound much better than it's ever sounded?
How does it feel being able to sleep on your face without just getting, once again, putting your chin in a glove of bees?
It feels good.
Yeah, it does.
It feels Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah, so last week, I didn't do my 2 sentences or less.
Right.
And then afterward, I remembered that, and then I remembered also what they were.
Okay.
So I just wanted to throw
Alligator.
them out there. Yeah, for the movie Alligator, my 2 sentences or less was when Pennywise said we all float down here, he wasn't excluding dead dogs. So there's that. Those were floaters.
They floated so well that the guy had to push them forward. They were so good at floating that they got stuck on a shopping cart.
Yeah. Oh, boy. It's almost as if they were floaters. Coming to theaters this fall.
Floaters?
Yeah, floaters. We all float down here,
Nice.
including the turds and the dead dogs.
Yeah, what's the movie about?
Floating and dead dogs.
Just dead dogs and that's it.
Dead dogs be floating.
It's not much of a plot.
Who needs it?
Apparently not Mimic, the movie we did this week.
This movie had so much plot that I was like, "Whoa, hold on! I don't have hands to hold all this plot."
Dude,
The plot just keeps coming out, and it's so thick and plotty. It's just plopping. Hot plot plops.
a poppin', ploppin' plot.
Yeah, hot. It was a plossy of.
Oh my god.
It was just a tight plossy.
That sounds horrible.
Plotsy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I said it. That's a horrible thing that somebody on the internet could have also probably said.
Grindhousemovie.club, everybody. You're going to get more high-quality material like this.
Yeah, go there. And also, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, thank him.
Check the show notes, because I've been putting his link down there, so I hope to God you're seeing it.
Sorry about your reputation as a music artist.
Yeah, but that's okay, because, hey, Plotsy.
Yeah, you're in bed with Plotsy now.
You're deep in it.
And let me tell you, unforgiving.
Unlike this movie.
Yeah,
It floated to the surface.
it sure did.
I mean, it wasn't. I don't know.
Fuck this movie. I'll say it over and over. I have 2 real good reasons for it, and really, I just warn everybody right now. This movie ruins itself in the last 30 seconds.
No
There's
way.
a whole movie, and then it fucking sucks dick. The worst. Like, there are parts that suck dick, and then it's just, you're going to fit the whole bag of dick in there in the last 30 seconds of the movie.
Well, Jay, I forgot to ask you, how was your week? How was your day? What did you get up to, man?
Well, I went to fucking work for 8.5 hours, so I'm pissed.
Oh, okay.
And the day before that, I was so nauseous that I didn't go to work.
That's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
Well,
turns out when you have Monday anxiety, sometimes that manifests itself as nearly throwing up at the thought of liquids in your mouth.
Yeah, well, that and diarrhea, hand in hand.
Oh yeah, potentially.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna have one, you might as well have the other.
It's true.
Just
get it all out at once.
Take
you
the
know,
goddamn day off and just get it out of you.
Flush your body like you're using kelp tape.
Yeah, that's just it's called an anxiety flush, and you gotta first of all.
I thought that's what happens in a public restroom.
It does. It could happen. It could happen anywhere. All you gotta do is just spend all your money, and then just do that the week before rent is due, and then figure out how you're gonna figure it out. You know?
Yeah.
Good
Flying
luck.
by the seat of our goddamn pants, which are just covered in shit.
Welcome to Diarrhea City. You're the mayor, and you've got a problem.
If anything, you'd think that I'm doing great.
The opposite.
Oh, Jesus. So Mimic this week.
Yeah, Mimic.
The movie about a giant bug and his friends.
Look, if you saw the movie Alligator, you didn't need to see Mimic.
If you saw any movie in a subway, you didn't need to see Mimic.
That's true. This is true.
It doesn't even have to be a horror movie because this shit ain't scary.
I mean, it wasn't. There was like some moments where I might have been looking away and a sound happened. I was like, oh my.
Yeah, you didn't miss fuck all. One mediocre jump scare that gets telegraphed like 2 scenes prior, so you just know, and you know that it sucks.
Hey, you know, it tried.
It barely tried. Fun fact about this movie.
There's a fun fact?
There's a couple.
Oh my god, I didn't look up any because I thought they were all going to be sad, fucked up facts I didn't care about.
Yep, no, that's right.
Okay. Lay me with a fun fact.
Also, if you enjoyed the dead dog in Alligator, or the bags of them, you get at least one in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right in your face.
Shout out to dead dogs.
And they treat it with just about as much respect as the one dead dog you see in Alligator.
I forgot about the dead dog in this film.
Why are people so obsessed with dropping dead dogs on the wet concrete as a punishment for being dead?
Sewer people, man, they're just disgusting.
Jeez Louise.
This movie had it had explosions coming from the ground.
Dumb ones.
And it had some man who just was like nasty and he died. Alligator had the shopkeeper. This movie had just some old man.
Yeah.
Who was just a weird man.
Are you talking about Geppetto?
I'm glad that you also... I called him Giuseppe.
His name is neither of those.
It might as well... If you watched the movie and plugged your ears whenever anybody said his name, you'd be like, okay, it's Geppetto or Giuseppe. It might be Giuseppe, Geppetto, Macaroni, for all I fucking know.
It's an old Italian shoemaker with a son who has a problem. It's basically Pinocchio.
First of all, he is not making the shoes.
Oh, he's just shining them. He's not even making them, yeah.
Yeah, he's making them shiny. That's what he's making. He's making them shine.
He's the equivalent to a laborer on a job site.
And
you got a site supervisor and a general contractor, and then the guy that carries the drywall from one side to the other.
And his son is fucking the Rain Man in shoes.
Yes, he is, man.
Oh, he knows nothing of card games, but...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my god.
It doesn't even need to ask. You can tell by the way you're walking, your shoe size and make.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, do you have 2 sentences or less?
I got my fun fact first.
Okay,
I refuse to forget.
I forgot. I thought this was the fun fact.
A large part of the reason why I suspect this movie sucks is because the 2 production companies, one being the Weinstein Company, had their grubby fingers in the edits and post.
Oh, no.
And they did such a bad job with it that Guillermo del Toro, the director, now hates this movie.
Hey, if he hates it, I'm okay with it.
He made a director's cut afterwards that was like, this is what I wanted. And that's his version of the movie, and to fuck this one.
Well, why did we watch this one?
Because I didn't know that.
Why did you drag this out of the toilet? You should have flushed it when you. Oh,
You're
boy.
right. You're right.
All right. Well, one day we're gonna do Mimic 1.5.
Yeah.
And
there's probably gonna be less CGI in it. Although knowing Guillermo del Toro, there's probably just as much CGI in it.
God, I hope Doug Jones is in there somewhere.
My 2 sentences or less. New York City sure has a lousy subway system. Well, it's about giant bugs,
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
It's lousy with locusts.
He's using
or
lousy
lice.
in a way you didn't expect.
Yeah.
He's playing with the words.
That's right. Just call me Eminem.
Well, mine.
Don't call me that.
I'm not gonna.
Good.
I'm gonna call you.
He's white, so I hope.
I'm gonna call you JLA. It's just letters and.
Oh, okay. Jay the little asshole.
Hey,
it's my rap name now.
Well, that works because JLA, and you say that and you're like, oh, what's the fuck? What was that? And
people think people are gonna think I'm from California.
You're gonna have a big gold chain that says "not actually made in LA."
Yeah.
And you can or like just never been to. I don't know.
Made in El Gay is what it'll say.
All right. Well,
I like that better.
It's your chain.
I have a they them pin on my tool bucket at work.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you do. That makes me.
There's one guy there who's like super socially tactless.
Oh.
This is the guy, I may have mentioned it before, but After meeting him once, he goes, "Are you like native or what are you?"
Oh boy, it's important to know what you are. When
Be
I'm
sure to
speaking.
phrase it like that.
Yeah. What's wrong with
Yeah.
this?
What flavor of abomination are you, sir?
Who are your parents and what do they do?
They're really good at picking things.
Well,
What's your 2 sentences or less?
my 2 sentences or
I
less.
hope it's as racist as what I just said.
No, it's Jesus. It's but you know, whatever you think is going on in the sewer, it's probably just as bad as this movie.
Oh, yeah. And also what goes on in the sewer in this movie.
Yeah, exactly what you think is happening in the sewer is this movie.
I don't know. I assume that the
sewer movie.
Yeah, the New York City sewer ties into the subway system at some point because they're both underground, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. So, the New York City had a subway system, and then I'm pretty sure they were like, fuck this.
Let's just cover it up with another one.
That's exactly what they did.
Like Futurama.
Yeah, that's the joke, because they did that.
Yeah.
So
I never put that together. Had no idea.
I put that together while I watched this. I was like, oh yeah, because they go down, and there's another old-ass subway system.
Yeah, there's even more down.
So, that's the movie. It's just, it's like, honestly, this movie is, like, the second level of Mario. You go down a pipe, and then there's
The
just
second part of the first level, yeah.
you go down, and then
So guess what?
You keep going down. It's just more do and turtles that are fucking coming at you, but those turtles are man-sized cockroaches.
Why does the
Do.
Why does the music get even more ominous the further down you go?
Right?
I'm like, good God, what am I in for?
Wah.
A giant turtle, apparently.
Yeah, I probably will not watch the movie. I'm just
No, I'll skip that one myself.
the
For a
Mario
couple of reasons.
the Mario movie should have ended with the Mario movie, the live action one with the wrestlers who are dead now.
Oh,
That one.
That one that everybody hates.
Well, they hate it because they're dumb.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it.
That's their fucking fault.
I probably should because I'm sure it sucks. So good though.
Mamma mia.
So fucking Mimic starts with intro scene of bugs, so you know what it's all about. The word bugs is gonna come up a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna say bugs because that's what these things are. They're just bugs.
Yep. The one living bug, because it's all Polaroid pictures of bugs in the intro, is a praying mantis. So if you needed any more foreshadowing, you can have that as well.
Let me get my notes out here.
This fucking, it's about a disease. Now, this is different probably to watch after COVID.
A little bit. A lot of these, any scene where somebody's in one of those jumpsuits that goes over their head with the mirror, with the little window.
The suits from Tommy Lee Jones's Tornado when they're going to the like volcanic crevice. That's what I think of every time. The only difference is those ones are made of like tin foil.
Yeah. I just, science. And anytime where somebody is ill and there's science involved, and
that's the suit you gotta wear.
Yeah. Exactly. But we wear it in the sewer.
So it's about fucking pandemic.
And it's called Strickler's disease, not whatever I thought it was, like Stickler's disease.
Stickler. I'm just very particular.
Yeah, exactly.
And I start sneezing.
Turn the fucking lights off when you leave. What's happening to my body? The window.
Only one cream.
And then that's that.
It's carried by cockroaches in the subway system.
Surprise, surprise. The dirtiest thing in the world is full of a disease. Wowee. Maybe your kids should stop fucking around in the sewer. I don't know what to tell you, because this disease only affects kids.
Yeah, great. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, they have so many that they have what I call Dead Kid Alley. Dying Child Alley.
Which is the hallway in the hospital where they have everybody curtained up like that Limp Bizkit music video for Boiler.
Yeah.
Except in that music video, people are fucking. I hope that's not happening behind the curtain. It's the worst Wizard of Oz sequel.
Yeah, oh fuck. So they're just like walking down Dead Kid Alley, and I think like there's like a dude, and he's like the CDC guy, and then there's a scientist lady. She's a bug expert. And the CDC guy's like, yes, these fucking kids, if any of them survive, it's leg braces for the rest of their life or death.
It's so polio.
And then they were just like, she peels back a curtain, and some kid's just like,
well, we know which one this one's getting.
Yeah, they're just like, right. I feel like he came down before and he was like, hey, I need you to really ham this up.
I gotta prove a point to this woman.
She just like looks at her like, that's her breathing.
Make me look more sympathetic so she's easier to bang later.
Oh my god.
Well, they get married in this movie, so you know that's what happened.
It's really nice that they got married. You know?
Sure.
Because normally people just fuck in the woods in horror movies. These people got married before we see them fuck, which is great.
Yeah.
Because there's no woods in this movie. It would have been in the mean streets.
Under
them.
It's Manhattan, right? Isn't there like a forest in the dead center of the city that everybody wants to pay $100,000 a month to live beside?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best you're going to get.
I believe there is a central perk to that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't see that. We don't,
No.
to be honest, we don't really see much of anything in this movie other than under the earth.
Under the earth, barely lit, because despite the fact this movie had a $30 million budget.
That's 30.
We're gonna mostly do CGI for these bugs just because it's time sensitive, because it takes less time to do that.
Yeah.
All the practical effects in this
makes
movie,
sense.
and there are some, and I'd like to say that they look good, but I could only see a quarter of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like they like the movie that has like they have like glow sticks in the movie, and they were like, well, that's enough.
Exactly. Or
We'll just
one pot light in an
near the
entire
glow
hallway.
sticks. Yeah.
Because fuck it, we put a lot of effort into the slime on the walls, and the bugs. The odd time when they're not completely digital and they don't match the perspective of the shot they're in.
Don't say that.
And then Guillermo del Toro comes out and goes, "Well, I really want it danker."
He wanted, excuse me, what?
Danker.
He wanted
more dank in the subway.
Yeah, he wanted. Like,
Can we turn down the lights in this shot so that nobody could see the weeks of work extras put in?
He wanted that sticky icky. I get you. Yeah.
It's just the word's just attributed to weed now forever.
Well, for sure it is.
That's fine.
It's that or it's old socks. I don't know what you're talking about. Danker.
It's a basement.
Yeah.
Which is also that's appropriate.
Okay. Well, that goes hand in hand with socks then.
Let's
Fine.
shoot this like a basement you don't want to see the walls of because you don't know who just lived there.
Yeah. Let's never look at the unfinished cement walls because guess what? There's huge fucking bugs.
Yeah, it's black mold and bug eggs. 30,000 cockroaches in the scene where this scientist lady introduces a manufactured species in order to kill them off and get rid of the disease. The bugs that she makes, though, are CGI. Why'd you need the CGI bugs when you have literally 30,000 cockroaches just around?
Because these are different bugs and
Fuck it. Put a little black stripe on the cockroach. Get your Sharpie out.
I feel like I would have hated that.
I fucking hate the special effects more.
I would have just put a sticker on a couple
Just
bugs.
get 2 more bugs from the bug store. You must be a regular now.
You're asking them to like take apart. You want them to like take apart a model tank and just glue those chunks to a bug.
That would be fine. It's 1997.
I feel like I see like a guy on TikTok who does that. He takes dead crabs and he just makes them into like armored tanks.
Oh fuck yeah! I like that kid from The Purge.
Yeah, yeah, a lot like that.
Somebody's got an obsession.
So, yeah, she fucking she makes these roaches.
They shoot out this disgusting bug foam, and then all the cockroaches eat the foam, which makes them die.
It makes their metabolism speed up, which yeah, I guess they starve to death when that happens.
Now the bugs that were made with some kind of breeding kill switch, so that they didn't reproduce. It's supposed to be like a one and done solution.
Yeah, I think they got like 6 weeks of a lifespan, or at least that's what they're supposed to have.
Yeah, it turns out this bitch ain't that good at her job.
But we don't know. We don't find that out till later when it's far too late to do anything about it. When she's already been paid and she's just somewhere else. She's in the sewers.
Yeah. Then we get a press conference where they're explaining what happens. I didn't listen to any of it, aside from everything that I just explained. All I was doing was paying attention to she's walking through the crowd, and there are monitors, or the CDC guy's walking through the crowd, and there's monitors showing her speak at the podium, and they're not matching up with what she's saying at all because they recorded it, and then they just played it on televisions, and then they prominently displayed it in their movie.
Well, maybe there was a lag, you know?
Okay.
It's
you know what's funny is when I wrote that, I was like, Matt's going to say there's probably lag.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a concession.
I don't know how chords work back then. I was too young. I was too young to know how chords work.
They didn't have XLR cables in 97?
I don't know. all I knew was fucking red, yellow, and red and white, and God knows which one goes to which. That was a fucking mystery.
Well, it's like putting together a computer. You just find the one with the holes that match the plug, and you shove that in and pray to God it doesn't explode in your face.
Yeah, explain that to a 7-year-old. They're gonna have questions, my friend.
More than they had before.
So part of this, like, when they're, like, looking at this, there's, like, a whole this press conference.
Yeah.
And there's, like, she's, like, walking through and blah, blah, blah. There's, like, a dude who gets up and he leaves and he's all pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was a dude who got up and he was like, bitch, and I'm not having any more of this. I didn't come here to hear this kind of shit. And he gets up and leaves.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I saw that because I was writing angrily already.
Well, take note.
Yeah. No taking. I'll just take one
After
now.
you see terrible CG cockroaches,
yeah,
that guy gets up and he's like, "Muh," because
he probably hated it as much as I did.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy later who was like, I fucking hate what you do, but I'll help because fuck you, bitch. I got nothing better to do.
That old man from 13 Ghosts?
That's the man.
Dr. Gates.
I don't know if that's the man or not.
They don't.
It might be
the one that scolds her later for doing her job.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's They don't. I don't think they ever say his name in the movie, but he's credited as Dr. Gates.
Yeah, he scolds her for playing God and creating an abomination to God.
You're a scientist.
Yeah. Quit making things that live, you bitch. Quit creating life.
It's only what we do.
You bitch. You bug bitch.
They call the manufactured bug the Judas bug, and then are surprised when it betrays them.
Whoa.
Name it the not Judas bug. Name it the very nice, honorable bug.
Name it the fucking seppuku bug.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine
they had tiny swords. That's how they did it.
Yeah, I guess they put together a termite and a mantid. I think that's, and they just made that happen, and now we've got this.
Termites, one of the fastest breeding insects ever, and all it needs is wood. So I don't, There's a fuck joke in there too.
I was gonna say, considering how fast it breeds, it's got no problem getting the wood.
Yeah, no issue at all. You'll find them nearby wood all the time.
Yep. Well, also, I'm gonna, I just want to point this out. It took children dying for them to finally do something about the cockroaches in New York City.
It's not a big deal until kids die. Like a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot have to die.
Most.
Because I feel like they were dying before this disease because they got too close to a dirty old cockroach.
Yeah, probably also died from cockroach-related illnesses. This one's just particularly bad because it makes it hard to walk, and that's going to create a bottleneck at the subway terminal when they got to get their wheelchairs through.
So, boom, cut to the CDC guy and the scientist, and are they banging? Are they married? We don't know yet. But
they're in the same apartment, and she's in the bathroom, so I assume that they're at least in a relationship. Also, it's been 3 years.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Also, 3 years later.
Yeah. Good start to your movie.
Oh, yeah. Basically the beginning is a weird montage where it's not actually a montage.
Yeah.
Because it goes from like her being like, oh, I don't know about making bugs to I've already made the bugs and
I'm gonna just put them down.
I got the reverse bug traps right here.
I'll just put them down with no safeties in place whatsoever and hope for the best.
The bug let goes.
Also, what point did they quarantine off the entire subway? Because she just goes in like a random, I don't even know what to call it, train tunnel, but she has to go through fucking level 6 hazmat clearance in order to get in there.
She goes through a sphincter.
Yeah. Like those fucking bounce castles at like kids' playgrounds that you got to squeeze through either it looks like a pee hole or a butt.
And this one, if you look closely and squint.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like a vagina.
Oh,
Just a little bit now.
good.
Or a pee hole.
Some 19-year-olds writing their university essay about that.
A pee slit.
Okay. Ooh.
You don't like the word pee slit, huh?
I think the word slit is the issue. Fine with pee.
Fine with pee, but he doesn't like slit. All right.
No.
Fine. We'll find a happy medium somewhere. How about slot? Pee slot.
That's fine.
Cloaca.
Well, it's like a machine then. Cloaca, mine's not recessed, so I don't think that applies. You don't got to go fishing around to figure out what it is.
I feel like slot infers that you're just going to be inserting things into it, like coins.
Exactly.
So I don't think slot's the correct. Slit is what we're going to go with. It's going to be slit.
And then when I nut, I say jackpot.
I don't want to know what you're yanking on to to get the little things.
Pull that
to
lever.
spin.
Yeah.
And then I'm not interested in knowing what comes out in great heaps.
More than you can hold with two hands.
So
Moving right along. Fuck.
there's a bug in a jar. I don't know. I wrote that down.
There is.
Yep,
That's right.
That's that. And then we're just on fucking real streets of New York City and real gangster shit.
I think that's like her keepsies specimen of the bug she created that she's examining in the jar. But I will tell you, okay, it's Susan and Peter are their names.
So CDC is Peter and scientist is Susan.
That's right.
I didn't write either of the fucking names.
No, I don't. It's fine. Entomologist. I think that's what it is.
And then we got
The
Shoe
insect
Guy
scientist.
and Boy. Shoe Guy and Boy.
That's right.
That's
Funny shoes, and then also like he's really good at spoons. He's so good at spoons. Like instead of being a shoe shiner, which I mean, obviously he'd be really good at it because he's gonna be so scrutinous.
He's got the shining for shoes.
You're gonna be. Oh my god!
Closes his eyes and he communicates with the security guard and he's like, "Yeah, shoes,
Shoes and spoons.
shoes all the time, buddy.
I'm all about it. Don't combine them.
never cross the two."
Fucking Peter comes in because she's taking too long looking at this bug in the bathroom and pushes her into the bathtub so that they can talk about having kids and almost gives her a concussion when she bashes her head off the tile wall.
Does she ever? Thank God that's a little wider of a tub than normal.
Holy fuck.
I feel like you did that in my tub, you'd probably not ever come back.
And then at this point, because they're talking about kids, I wrote down the old, and maybe you'll remember this, the Confucius adage. Man who sleep with entomologist or etymologist get bed bugs.
I do recall that on a fortune cookie or two. So it's 3 years later, and there's like some church.
Yeah.
Jesus Saves is on the side of it in big neon letters. The sign's kind of busted, and there's like a one of those scaffolds, like a window washer scaffold there. I don't know why it's there though.
That guy, the Asian man who runs this fly-by-night church.
The priest.
And you know it's a dirty church just by the fact that it is.
Yeah, just with your eyes, you see that.
Yep.
So if you're not going to watch the movie, picture a factory.
Picture a dirty church that opens up into a New York City alleyway near Avenue C.
Where a boy can watch. And that's all he does is he watches.
Yeah, he does. His bed is just I don't even like a twin size mattress obscured by a curtain, but it's right by the window in the fire escape.
He doesn't have like a bedroom. He's got this like corner with a curtain, like a hospital curtain that needs to be pulled around, and it's like, why does it's like perfectly around his mattress, so there's no bedroom. It's literally just what is Geppetto doing?
There's two answers really. The first one is poverty. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, maybe. The second one is that he needs to be watched.
Well, I was thinking more, what is he doing that the boy can't see? But he's like, nah, go behind the curtain real quick, boy.
Close that curtain. I'm having company.
I've saved up all month for this. Now keep that curtain closed until my company is gone.
And put my company and put your noise canceling headphones on. I don't need you tapping your spoons to the rhythm I have.
Yeah, it really throws me off when you start tapping.
It's not footsteps you're hearing, son. It's a different kind of slapping.
Yeah. You just keep your head behind that curtain. I don't need you describing the kind of shoes.
This Asian man escapes from something, God knows what, right now.
But it wants out of this door that he's got closed.
Yeah, and this door is the it's not the roof hatch, but it's the roof access door. So that stays locked for all of 5 seconds with this whatever it is behind it.
Well, it's a big thing.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's not a little thing.
You could tell by the shadow being taller than the light in the door itself.
And just the way,
So,
it is.
Yeah. So he busts right through there and fucking. I mean, he didn't even need to, because this Asian guy's already dangling over the fucking side of the building, basically.
Yeah, does he go does he make a jump for the scaffolding?
He does,
Okay.
and because it's dirty New York City next to an Asian church, it's about as flimsy as an Asian church. And immediately one of the cables breaks, and well, now he's in trouble. Yeah. I would have chosen whatever the fuck was coming through the door after me, honestly. It's probably faster.
I would have hid around the corner and let it run out, and that is what I ran in behind it and went down the stairs.
Fuck you. The old Texas switch.
Boom. Yeah.
Love it. Instead, we're going to take our risks on this slippery, because it's raining, scaffolding that's been here all night.
We're going to Dukes of Hazzard it right onto some fucking scaffolding that for some reason was left midway down.
Yeah, let's talk about how the people working on it got off of it to go home.
Well, they jumped.
Yeah, they must have.
They jumped and they landed on the safety paint can.
Yeah, well, that guy's head lands on the same can, and it ends up painting a mirror.
It sure does. It really ruins a nice mirror that is there for no reason.
In the trash. I have no idea why, because there's swearing in this, and it's got an R rating, so you could have just done blood.
You could have. Yeah, to be honest, there's no blood whatsoever, so that really must have been a nice, soft paint can.
Yeah, so he's fine. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Well, he is. Is he?
He's not fine.
All we really know is what kind of shoes he's wearing.
Yeah.
Because there's a boy in the window who, look, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not a doctor, but there's one thing I know, and this boy, he is autistic.
Yes.
And now
there's no two ways about it.
He's the kind of autistic who will, make note of your shoes instead of helping you. He won't call for help, but he'll absolutely be like, yeah, Windsor high tops.
Yeah. And he'll also make note of the killer's shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And how funny they are.
See, I didn't realize when I first watched this, I didn't realize that he was talking about the killer's shoes. I thought he was just be like, those shoes, huh? Funny shoes, ha ha. Dead man's got funny shoes on.
Oh,
and I was like, that's
God.
really disrespectful. He's like, he's fallen off the roof and you didn't do anything about it. And now you're just being like, haha, funny shoes.
You got funny shoes for a dead Asian man in the alleyway beside my dad's place.
That's not what he said, but that's how it felt.
Yeah.
But no, he's talking about the shadowy figure.
Yeah.
And his funny shoes.
His funny shoes are actually bug clicks, which, if you have a brain at all, you've put together that this is a bug, all right? It might look like a cloaked man, but it's a bug.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, because it's a mimic. The movie's called Mimic, and so that, when you see that and you know that, you go, oh, bug.
Yeah, there's something a little bit off about it, and it sounds like any bug that communicates with another one.
Yeah. It's a very clear click clack, and then for some reason, this kid's got to go. First of all, go the fuck to sleep. Your dad's
dude. It's night.
Well, to be honest, we don't know if this is his dad. We don't know if this is his uncle. We don't know who this is. This is just a man who.
Well, I sure hope they're related.
He's just keeping this boy.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's just he busts out the spoons and he's just click it up.
You know, Geppetto gets no fucking sleep in that apartment anytime there's pedestrians outside. He's waking up at all hours.
Oh my God.
New York is a city that never sleeps, dude.
Well, while this is happening, by the way, he's also humming "Row, row, row your boat."
Great.
Which is real creepy to be doing as a child, in a window.
Yeah.
Well, and while not helping a man. That's the last thing this man, as he's being dragged, is a boy just humming and fucking spooning away.
The last 2 times he witnessed a murder, that was just what was playing on the television. So now he just attributes one to the other.
Yeah.
This man has a very difficult time getting dragged into a sewer because of how fucking fat he is. You didn't really need to have that.
You did, though.
The bug
crawls
into the fucking sewer and then tries to pull him by his feet, and he's got to give it like 4 or 5 solid tries, which is not great because later on he just opens steel doors by basically blowing on them. So it's not like he's weak. This is just pick another sewer grate.
Well, he didn't want to damage the man, and he's already down there. I really like. Yeah, he tried every angle too. Like he.
Also, thank you because there's totally like this one is one, and then later on when they're exploring the rape room of a subway station. Let's be honest, he's just hanging out, head at light level, again in the New York subway, like It, quite like Stephen King's It. So he is the one that facilitates the floating.
I didn't catch him just loitering like that.
Yeah, he's hanging out when they're reaching for the flashlight.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, because it shines right in his fucking eyes.
What did I fucking write? Oh, I can't even. Yeah, exactly. That was a point about how he must have seen this happen a bunch of times because he's already got the fucking bug's noise down. He's got the exact rhythm. But then I realized, well, he's going to pick that up in 2 seconds because of his condition.
Yeah, he identifies the pattern and the heel of the shoe.
Yeah, we should take him to a casino.
And like
get out of the project.
He's seeing that shoe from like the 3rd-story balcony, like across the alleyway down the street.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, look at that! Blah blah blah. This and this kind of shoe. Also boxers at Kmart."
Fucking Kmart.
Fucking People's Court comes on at 4. Judge Watner. I forget what the show was, but I got a pretty good impression of that poor man.
One Price is Right rerun, and he immediately knows every price on the fucking showcase.
Well, that's like a superpower. I wish I possessed, but I'm okay not possessing it too.
So I agree. So fucking let's try for a baby. Right after this, talking about having kids. They cut back and forth, I think, between the bathtub conversation about children and this happening, and then next morning pregnancy test. Now, let me tell you, pretty pissed about this pregnancy test. I may be getting the chronology wrong, but I couldn't not mention it right now because of how angry.
It's all good. So we go from like this bug man trying to make this guy fit through the hole.
Yeah.
With the same method I would use if like the Tupperware drawer was too full.
Force.
We
call it force.
We go from that to there's like just a bug museum, and this lady's like, "Well, straighten that banner out, you stupid fuck."
Yeah.
It's droopy as shit, you idiot. And then
treating a laborer like shit.
Yeah.
What do you like to wait staff?
And then the CDC guy comes up and he's like, "I got you this vial of
oh yes,
of stuff.
We're having a special lunch at the Bug Museum."
It's a tincture. I don't know what it was, but she's like, this is made of like nun piss, right?
Italian nun piss specifically.
And it's to help with her horny level.
Or virility. I have no fucking idea.
Well, what are you supposed to? Are you supposed to smell it?
Well, this movie's all about.
You're supposed to do with
it. You probably rub it all over you. This fucking movie's all about pheromones and them being on your body.
That's fine. I don't see why they didn't just put that in there at some point.
You probably drink it.
She could have like chucked that, and the bugs would have went for it, and they just could have ran. But it's cool. No, whatever happened in the movie was much better.
So that's why I wrote trying to pressure your wife into having a kid she's barely on board for. Because he pisses off for this fucking CDC shit. Entered Josh Brolin for some reason. And she immediately, the look on her face is, I don't like any of this.
Well, yeah, what? You hand me a little jar of piss, I don't like it either.
And then he's like, can you just try? I don't want to have a kid so bad. And she's like, eh. And I can't tell if it's about just that liquid or if it's about the idea of having a kid.
That's not a good way to present the idea.
That's true.
But I feel like I would really hope that this is not the first conversation. I brought you this piss. Let's make a baby.
Oh my God.
I brought you this tincture of piss. Let's get down and dirty with
Of
it.
a urine. Because you have to say it Italian.
Right.
Because it's Italian piss.
I brought you this tincture of a urine.
Yeah.
I harvested it myself. It is my urine. I take it from my penis.
I should have asked Geppetto about it. He probably knows.
Oh, yeah. He probably goes, oh, is that nun piss? Is that in the nun piss?
Is this my literal grandmother's piss?
I don't know why every Italian sentence has that na 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 na.
I don't know.
That's the cadence of every conversation. Na 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 na.
Bit of a silly language. Imagine hearing that in your head all day. Oh my god. How are most Italian people not serial killers?
I'm sure their inner monologue isn't Mario and Luigi going back and forth.
That's his brother's monologue. It's a very common name.
So, yeah, there's he also makes some comment and he's like, yeah, having this thing of piss is unnatural, but also so is putting ice in your boxers for 6 months.
Not familiar with that method. If anything, I would think it would do the opposite.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like, is it because he gets these wicked, rock-hard morning erections that just can't be quelled by anything but fucking or ice?
Well, what's wrong with that if you're trying to have a kid? Just bang. I understand there's an ovulation schedule and that's important, but that doesn't mean stop banging the rest of the month.
Well, I feel like that's it's a problem, you know? Obviously, it's a problem.
I guess the theory behind it could be to cool the semen. That way, because if they get too hot, they die. But
Maybe?
also, like, turn on the fucking AC then. How hot's your apartment all the time?
Well, maybe it's like, maybe it's like charging a battery, you know? You ice it so that...
It lasts longer?
Well, yeah, you it just, instead of popping, you save it up. You know, instead of, you know how when you really want to, you really want to use something, but the battery's dead, so you plug it in for a little bit, and then you use it and it dies quicker.
Yeah.
What you really got to do is plug it in for like an hour and walk away and come back.
So we're just freezing cum time.
Yeah, I feel like he's just storing it because maybe he's not. Maybe they're both having an issue, and his is that not enough comes out. And I don't know.
I see. So the longer
her problem is she doesn't smell like piss.
I get it. You're accumulating percentage.
There you go. Yeah.
Volume.
Yeah. There you go. You're amounting a very thick and ropey load to blast.
Maybe they just want a really cool baby. He pops out with sunglasses on.
Just fucking
flashing finger guns.
He's got to be a C-section, and he comes out and he's like, "Deal with it."
He's hanging 10 on a surfboard.
Her water breaks, and he's just like, "What's up, dude?"
Oh, the pipeline today.
Ah, man.
Gee, why is he high already?
Gnarly.
You're not supposed to do drugs while pregnant.
Gnarly. It was a
gnarly birth.
It was a gnarly curl. That was mad gnarly, bro.
Holy shit. I like this baby. It's got a mohawk.
It's a fucking cool-ass baby.
Yeah.
I love it. You put sunglasses on a baby, and all of a sudden, I'm all right with it, as long as it's not crying or being near me. If it's got, like, show me a picture.
So you're marginally more all right with a baby.
Yeah,
if
show
it's
me
got sunglasses on.
And, like, it's got to be a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
And, like, even then, like, I'm not going to look at it, but do show somebody else near me. I'll look a little bit, but all right.
Also,
cool
to be honest, if you show me a picture of a baby, better have clothes on.
You know.
Had really better have clothes on. And now I think that's something that's changed a little bit as like society evolves, but a lot of people had, you remember like old episodes of AFV and they had to blur out dicks?
Yeah.
That shit, people just filmed their kids naked back in the day.
And like, you know, pedophiles were like, well, where's the too hot for TV version? Where's that at?
How come this is like Jav porn? That's a deep reference. Oh man,
I don't want to know the reference.
A lot of Japanese pornography is blurred by default.
I said I don't want to know.
That's it. You know it now.
Well,
speaking of Asian people, cut to Detective Josh Brolin, whose name in the movie is fucking Josh, and CDC showing up because this is more than just a regular crime scene.
Oh boy, yeah, he's got to make sure that, and I really wish that they'd chosen. Look, Jay.
Yeah.
Look me in the eyes when I say this.
Oh, okay.
Because it's unfortunately.
Romantic.
It's my turn to talk, and I have to say the thing.
Yeah.
He's there to make sure that nobody, now look me in the eyes here, has yellow fever. Now, I don't think that's a real thing.
It is.
Okay, good.
Don't worry, it is.
But it's not what it's something else other than what I think it is, right? What I've come to know it as.
I think it's also known as dengue fever. Now,
I hope it's again, something else.
It's not a racist term.
Okay,
however, when followed up by describing the victims as snakehead people,
oh, I didn't hear that.
because they're from an Asian country.
Nobody said that.
Josh Brolin right out loud with his face facing the camera.
No, he does not say that.
Now, I think because, so he calls them triads. The point is, in the basement of this dirty church, there is a horrible slave labor ring where they're making American products so that they can sew onto them that they're made in the USA by the hands of 7-year-olds that are brought over in a shipping crate, probably with one porthole.
Yeah, it's called the sweatshop.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it is because it's not very cool. It's just not a cool thing to do to people, you know?
Anyway, because he's a detective, I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt that he's done some research and he knows these are triads instead of just assuming that a cluster of Asians in a basement is gang-related. But then also he calls them snakehead people, and I don't know enough about triads to know whether that's appropriate or not.
Jay, I'm going to tell you right now, 1997, it's probably not appropriate to say.
That's true. Also, fuck you for casting Josh Brolin in this, because part of his character is that he's a little bit bumbling, but Josh Brolin's face and acting doesn't ever portray that. Like, he always, every role he plays, whatever like his character's profession is, he comes at it like he's still the Doctor from Planet Terror. It's like stoic and weirdly sarcastic and dark, but then he's like fumbling with a lighter later on. Like, you can't have both. He walks through, he's like in the labyrinth of the tunnels and shit, and he's walking around and they're playing this like whimsical Looney Tunes music in the background. Like, it's funny he can't find his way.
Yeah, I did kind of notice that.
And you can't do both.
Now, how else would I know him? What Marvel Universe character is he?
Oh, I couldn't give a fuck less. How's that sound?
He's Cable.
Well, that's not the one I thought you were going to go to, which was my problem. I'm okay with I'm okayable with Cable.
I'm glad you're able to be Cable with Abel.
Yep. Just like Cain. And that's a Bible reference. I will not mention the name of the other character he plays because I don't like it.
Well, here we are.
Well, it rhymes with John Stamos.
It almost kind of does.
A little.
So he says yellow fever, and I put that in quotation marks because I didn't want anybody to find this later and go, oh, wow. Oh, he wrote that, did he? He's like, no, I'm quoting the movie.
It's something I would write. I'm pretty sure I've said that with racist overtones, not even under. I'm overt. He finds some shit on the ceiling in the basement of this church, and then he makes a joke about how his job offers him a lot of opportunities to encounter new and exotic cultures, except the problem is they're mostly bacterial. And I liked that joke.
Yeah, that was a good... That's some
good, clean humor.
He says something else that's pretty relatable and hilarious later when he's handling fecal matter. It's kind of like the fecal matter brings the funny.
It's like my dad wanted me to be a dentist or some shit like that.
It's like, what could be what's worse than looking into an open mouth all day?
Well, I would rather be looking at shit in a jar.
I'm with you. As long as
especially when you're a dentist, your job is to look at gross open mouths all day.
And like, you're allowed to react to the shit as the way it is. You
know?
You can't have that reaction to when somebody opens their mouth and be a good dentist.
A lot of people close their mouths when they're trying to suppress tears, and that is counterintuitive to getting inside there with a hook.
They just open their mouth. Well, that's shitty. Wow. Why are you even here?
It's done.
It doesn't appear that you care at all.
Do you need them removed?
So, one of the scariest parts of this movie was when they were like, The CDC guy shows up and the cop's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We showed up and then, look in this window. And then somebody just slams on the window.
Yeah.
Spooky,
And it's suspiciously right next to the storm drain that you just saw a fat man get sucked into. So I immediately thought either you're going to see the corpse of a fat man or you're just going to see Bugface and the movie's going to give itself away in the first 10 minutes.
I was really hoping Bugface.
Yeah, that would have been better than Panicked Asians. Because they want out.
They sure do, but no, we got to quarantine everything.
All of these fucking people are sick down here, and one of them is on a stretcher being carted away, and she keeps saying Pungjun over and over again, which I looked up just to see if it was even words, and it turns out that it's a South Korean restaurant, so maybe she's just hungry for barbecue.
I mean, yeah.
It probably means something else in Chinese.
It probably does.
I couldn't find the translation though.
I hope so, but it sounds delicious to me. Also they mentioned he's like there's 36 people down there. One toilet, no toilet paper.
Not the most of your concerns, but also not the least.
Well, I'm not shaking hands with anybody.
No. The proximity being a larger issue, because if one person gets shit particle in their eye, guess what? Pink eye's your worst problem, Outbreak.
Well,
Yellow fever or pink eye?
Well, they said right there it's not airborne.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
It's just handborne.
Which is equally just as bad when there's so many flies and you're swatting.
Dude. You're accidentally slapping faces of 36 people all day.
Yeah.
I want to know that's 36 people in basically a room.
Maybe don't get the fly.
Yeah. The fly's fine. It's fed.
I'm okay with it being on my face and eyes. Whatever.
It's probably cleaner.
He finds a piece of shit on the ceiling, and the weird thing is like they don't ever come back to they find shit a second time, but there's never you don't see them do it.
No, he just comes back with the contents of it, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't see the bug take the shit, so you don't really ever learn why the shit's just on the ceiling.
They can't aim.
I had some.
Also, probably who cares when you can't wipe?
This movie gets a low score because it left me with so many questions.
Yeah, why did they make the choices they made in this movie when they made it?
Mm-hmm. I was really hoping because it was called Mimic that these people were all bug people. And then,
right, and then you learn that they're bugs during the whole quarantine and studying process.
And they shit on the ceiling.
Yeah, I think that's something probably somebody just did out of spite because they're a slave. I can't wipe anyway, might as well shit in my hand and toss it around.
Well, start making some stalagmites.
They don't...
There's no more room on the floor for this.
I don't think the idiom "don't shit where you eat" translates into Chinese.
Yeah, don't throw shit above where you eat.
Very specific culture.
Oh my God. So, yeah, there's, he's all sarcastic about his shit finding, and then, this lady's crying and whatever, and then it was really weird because the guy who was taking her statement was like, yeah, she said this, it means dark angels are coming for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chinese people always make up weird shit, huh?
It's literally what the problem is down here.
But
as we learn,
he's also Asian, so I was kind of I guess he can say that.
Yeah. How cool is it that the white man, because he couldn't understand Chinese, asked the Chinese paramedic, and it's only acceptable because he knew Chinese.
Well, I mean, he was writing it down. I would hope that he was.
He's just scribbling. Bitch is saying nonsense. She's looking me in the eye, so I don't know who's the more racist around here.
I would have loved if there was. Instead of there was just a moment where he kind of turned to him and he looked at him what? I'm over here drawing dicks.
It's been a long shift.
I'm
You're already on the gurney. I don't care.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm not your son.
I don't have answers for you. I don't know what she's saying because you're racist. So they board up every exit.
Yeah.
Keep the people in there, and then that's the last we ever hear of these people. So
that's true.
So we probably forgot about them and left them to die.
I imagine they, just die of yellow fever.
But like even later, like Shoe Guy doesn't do shit all about them. Like they're still down. Like they have to be down there. Nobody's.
Shoe Guy's got a couple of problems with his behavior.
Shoe Guy's pretty fucked up.
So this is, we get introduced to fucking Susan's friend here, and they're just like walking through. I don't know. It must be a lab, but I thought it was a university and she just works at it. I wasn't 100% of this on the setting here, because I imagine because two young children show up that it would be very difficult for them to be let into a science lab because they don't have badges.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, when they get off the elevator, I'm pretty sure they're talking about perverts.
They're talking about how the city's full of perverts while holding larvae the size of human heads. So, some assumptions could be made.
Some. I don't know why there's these kids in the lab.
They got a fucking black market trade deal with this scientist for bugs and money for some reason.
Yeah. She's like, she gives them $10 for all these bugs that they found, and she's like, they could be selling worse things. Will they be making more money selling those things?
If your concern is children having money, it shouldn't be. They live on C Street. I don't know how much you know about East Manhattan. It's not that nice of an area.
Well,
you could tell by this one kid's never had dental work in his life.
Well, give them more than $10 at a time.
Fucking Bugs Bunny over here, showing up with a box of cornflakes once a week for pocket change. I traipse around a dirty subway because I don't have parents, and this is what I get for my trouble. You should go talk to Geppetto. He'd probably pay you better for shining shoes.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just all get into the shoe trade.
I want to point out that during this scene where they're bug trading, she is explaining two things to them about insects. And that is hierarchy and fucking. Just explaining how the fucking and fucking hierarchy works in the bug world.
Well, I'll tell you, the city is full of perverts. You gotta watch out. They could be anywhere.
A little bit too revealing. Also, murder. This is how these bugs kill, and this is how they fuck. You see this one down here, the big one? He's got the hammer, so that's the only one the queen cares about.
It's not word for word, but
Dude,
it's close enough.
God damn.
These are all things that she says to two young children who have a cornflakes box full of a bug.
Yeah, and then some other already dead butterfly wings. That's what it was. And so she was trying to give them a tutorial. These kids with probably horrible motor skills because they're 7 on how to delicately handle bug wings for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you just do this for me? I'm only giving you $10.
I know I went to school for this.
I know this is 1997 and $10 isn't that much still, but why don't you just do more work for me for this $10? And this ought to keep you off the streets, huh? This whole $10? Thanks for all the bugs.
Adjusted for inflation, $10 in 1997 is about $10 and a cent.
If I was those kids, I'd just bring her a big box of dead houseflies.
Oh, yeah. Can you do anything with these?
I just go around snipping,
you want Grateful Cow?
Oh, my God. So they got a cornflake box, and this is their fucking bread and butter right here.
Yeah.
This is the one that she's got to pay extra for, but does not.
And they're worried that it's dead, and their way of checking, instead of opening the box or administering CPR, is to shake it and then blow in it like a Nintendo cartridge.
And doing that really jazzes the bug up.
Oh, yeah, it gets stoked.
It scuttles around for a second like bugs do.
Yeah. It adjusts its sleeping position.
So, a little jump scare.
Yeah, small one. This is the one that I knew was coming because, and this is the thing I want to say a little bit earlier too, because $30 million, you could tell a movie's budget by how slowly the actors walk. All of these scenes could be probably cut by a third.
Yeah, likely.
She takes fucking 10 minutes to walk over to the desk with the cornflakes on it from the other desk with cornflakes on it.
Well, it's spooky.
Yeah.
They're spooky flakes.
Sure.
She's doing in between this, we get to learn that the boy with autism is just chilling outside this fucking crime scene collecting shiny bits of wire.
Yeah, not only that, Geppetto walks him right through it.
Oh yeah, just get in there. Just get in there and get your wire, boy.
And then also like is surprised, and like he keeps walking when his I assume son, I hope son stops to pick up the wire, as if this isn't a behavior he sees every day. Every time you take this kid outside, I bet you he's collecting wire.
He's got a closet full of ends of wires.
Yeah, and he uses them to make monsters that he sees in real life.
And you know what? He'll go on to sell those wires to the scrapyard for liquor money as an adult.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's good copy if you strip the plastic off of it.
Yeah, he's investing in his future by collecting the copper wire now so that the wine becomes cheaper later.
I got to get out of this shoe shine business. You can't even buy me a bedroom.
You can't even buy me a pillow. I'm over here on a
sweater.
Sock full
yours. Yeah, a pillowcase just full of socks, and a pot.
And well, he's got those spoons, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure. He loves. Yeah, he should be a chef.
He should be just playing the spoons on the street corner. I'm surprised that he doesn't do that.
Get him a job in the kitchen as a soup stirrer. It's just a step up. Once you grow up, we'll give you a ladle.
All right, fine.
You know?
Yeah, this is your training stirrer.
So fucking, yeah, during this jump scare, the box is already open at the top, but Susan still gotta dissect it.
Oh,
Still gotta dissect it long ways.
Yeah, well, you don't want to reach your hand in there. You don't know where it is.
You say that, but then also she pulls the bug out, and the first thing she does is stick her hand right in its face for it to bite her, which it does.
And now, hear me out on this, Jay.
Sure.
Does it bite her? Or does it give her that sweet dick?
It at least bites the glove.
Yeah, I was thinking, again, I was like, ooh, it's going to impregnate her with a thing. And now, like, ooh, she's going to have that baby that she wants.
Yeah, it's going to be a brundlefly.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
You know?
I hope so. There was two parts in this movie where I kind of got that idea, and it was this part, and it was like at the very end where.
Well, these fucking larvae are huge.
Yeah, they're huge, but like also
the pupas.
The fertile male.
Yeah.
Well, he stabs the man.
He does. He's really interested in Susan once she gets good and bloody.
And we already know that these bugs are able to just mutate. You know, it's been generations.
Yeah.
So here.
I mean, fair enough.
I don't know, man.
They're foggy on the science of the whole thing.
I was really
They give you like
reaching.
as much information as you need to watch the movie and no more.
All I wanted to do was grasp like a nice good movie.
Yeah.
And I reached, but I
fell short though.
I just like
the movie went "Long live the king" and kicked you right in the face.
Oh yeah.
Off the cliff.
This is Sparta.
Yeah.
300, and also, that scene from The Lion King.
That's what I was going for. Yeah. Because that's what Scar says. Oh.
Yeah, just so you know. I'm really partying over here with the sparkling water.
Her response to getting attacked by a bug by putting food in front of its face is to stab it.
Well, yeah, it's really funny because like she was gonna do that anyway, but it felt really malicious when she did it this time.
Yeah, because she held the pin like it was a big knife.
Yeah, like here you go, bitch.
Yeah,
stab me.
How's that? Tit for tat.
Not gonna wait for you to die naturally at all. Get stabbed, bitch.
During this scene as well, they make a point of having a whole scene where papers blow off of printer because the window's open, so they go over and shut it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as she's examining this bug, well, the window's open again.
It sure is, Jay.
Because
the window's wide open.
Because guess who showed up?
I don't know.
Well, Bugman did.
He's got a name.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. They call him like the long coat man or something.
Yeah, Insecticide.
Because like, yeah, that's way better. That's way better. So like the shape of the bug, it's like he's a long. It's supposed to look like he's got like a.
Looks like a pedophile.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it
looks like a flasher at a park.
It looks like everybody you cross the street when you see them coming. Just like a shadowy man with a long, like a big old hat and a long coat on. You know that penis is out underneath that coat.
Yeah.
So you cross the street kind of guy. That's what we're dealing with here. And
question number one: How does he know where all of his bugs are?
Hive mind.
Hive mind.
Because he's a bug, you see.
Okay.
Bugs have hives sometimes.
Sure.
Well, he could probably just smell it because he's a shitty bug. He's a fucking shitty bug who smells things.
How can you smell that over all the cornflake dust?
You're right. I thought the cornflake dust would mask the smell of the dead bug.
All this shit happens where Bugman covertly comes into the room and it's not very well lit, despite the fact that she's doing work in it.
Yeah. She's really straining her eyes in the shadows, trying to read these little papers, while a bug-sized man, crawls across her ceiling.
He's got like 6 legs, so his footfalls are multiple and not human at all. Mm-hmm. But she pays no mind to that, and that bug successfully gets in and out without getting spotted, despite it being a room.
And also larger than any other person would be.
Yeah. So at this point, Susan is very confused because she walks back to her table after seeing a lamp get knocked over and assuming it was the wind, despite the fact that they closed the window already. And the cornflakes box is on the ground.
Oh my.
It's probably knocked over by the wind, even though the window was closed.
Likely.
So I'll just fish around in the papers inside this cornflake box to try and find the bug that also fell off the table, instead of being worried about an intruder that opened the window when I didn't.
Yeah. Definitely don't be concerned that you pinned that bug down and now it's gone.
Yeah, and the window's fucking open again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why have a whole scene where we close the window if she's just gonna ignore that fact?
Because Jay.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we got to know that this guy, this hat man, this long coat hat man, really likes them bugs.
Loves them.
He really wants to have those bugs, and any bug that he finds, I mean, he's got to have.
Loves them.
That's his thing. He's a bug coat hat man. I'm just trying to help you understand that this is a movie.
It's barely a movie, all right?
It tries
some. There's lines in a script. It doesn't not try.
I mean, they hit the record button and somebody edited it.
That's right. Some fat man in between sexual assaults, probably.
And Guillermo.
That's not who I'm referring to. I'm referring to Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, absolutely. I
sure.
figured that. I just was thinking, to be honest, I don't know. I just wanted to say his name.
Cat's trying to lick my tattoo right now.
Well, yeah, she sees the skin and she wants to have it in her belly, I guess. So, yeah, the weird. Oh God, our weird bug is gone. That's where we are in the movie.
Yeah, long gone.
And you'll never see it again.
And we make no mention of it after the fact. A couple things just happen in this movie that just happen, and then it's inconsequential. Almost as if it was supposed to be a longer movie and it was still edited for time, which is interesting because it could have been much more edited for time.
Yeah, I feel like this movie is an hour and 50 minutes long, where it could have been 40 minutes.
100%. Might have even been good then.
It could have been a short film.
Instead of watching 3 people traipse around a dark hallway that I can't distinguish from any other one for half a movie.
It's really hard to tell if they did not just walk up and down the same hallway.
They could very well have, yep.
Who knows?
And then also impossible things just to keep moving forward, please. Let's have impossible and stupid things happen so that this movie can end finally.
Well, guess what? We're not even like 20 minutes into this film yet.
Yeah, man, buckle the fuck up.
Buckle the fuck up. We haven't even gotten to the sewer, which is like the latter half of the film.
Thankfully, it's so dark I didn't have much to write.
Yeah, I'm glad that you found it dark because I was really squinting and like, is there a glare on my screen?
That's not what you want in a movie. Not for half of it.
No, I don't want to have to adjust the brightness on my screen every time we go down the sewer.
Fuck.
Which we go down in the sewer.
And then we go more down. Like, one down isn't enough.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, there's some gross bug communicating sounds.
Yeah. Now, if there was any illusion as to whether or not this is a giant bug that looks like a guy.
Yeah, I couldn't stress this more. It's a giant bug that looks like a guy.
And we still gotta wait like 40 minutes for them to figure that out.
Yeah, and you know what? They don't even really like figure it out. They just kind of think about it.
Yeah, and then it just happens to them. And they
Yeah.
go, oh, there's the answer.
Yeah, they leap from conclusion to conclusion, and they're probably correct. I don't know. They're a scientist.
Yeah.
So yeah, specimen's gone, and now we're just at this point where the boy is fucking sculpting things out of wire.
Yeah.
He's sculpting Mr. Funny Shoes.
You know how in horror movies when parent comes to pick up their kid from school and the teacher goes, I'm going to pull you aside for a second because drawings are concerning me. And the drawing is like of their family and then a horrid being.
Yeah.
Maybe pay attention to that. Maybe pay attention to that, every parent.
Nah. I'm going to parent by ignoring the problem until it's stabbing me.
And teaching my kid how to shine shoes even though he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he couldn't care less about shoe shining.
So here's the thing: this boy doesn't go to school, Jay.
No,
he doesn't. There's nobody to look at these drawings and go, "This is troubling."
Well, he's special. That's the answer to everything. You know, when a kid is special, nobody asks any more questions. Not in 1997.
He's a shoe wizard. He doesn't need school.
He's a shoe wizard. I wish I could come up with something funny like. Oh,
you got it. Just push it out. Come on.
A war croc.
Okay. I like that.
All right.
I like that a lot.
I just bought a pair of Crocs on the weekend. They are fuzzy on the inside, and the fuzzy is rainbow colored, so I'm going to feel like I'm walking on gelato all day.
Well, let me tell you something about Crocs.
Go ahead.
In the movie Idiocracy.
Okay. I remember that one, actually.
That's all they wear.
Oh, that's good.
And when they made that movie, they were like, hey, we need something that looks really fucking stupid. and then they were like, oh, we found this company. Nobody knew about them because it's however old this movie is. And they were Crocs. And they all wear Crocs. And now look at you.
I'm fine with that. Because not only are my feet going to be bundled up like an Arctic wolf, but I get to go from inside to outside now.
And when you go into a grocery store, people will go, oh, I guess you just rolled out of bed, huh? Every time you go into the gas station, people are going to go from aisle to aisle to avoid you.
To which I will respond, look at my sweatpants. Yes, I did.
All right.
How's that?
This is the
leaning right into looking just marginally above homeless. I don't even care.
This is the life you chose for yourself, Jay.
It is, and I'm proud of it because people bug you less. How's that?
That's fair. Also, because she's doing bug experiments with pheromones, I wrote the cornflake box is a rockin'.
Well, she came a knocking with a scalpel.
Yeah.
This is rule number 1, just violate it, just like that. Fine.
Fucking violated and also violated. So, yeah, well, here we are. Where did I wrote it down here somewhere where he was just sculpting Mr. Funny Shoes.
Yeah. That's because we're in the subway while Dad's trying to be the homeschooler, and he knows one subject. Because for some reason, something's going on with that fucking storage room that's right down the subway.
Yeah. He's also lighting just the poorest looking blunt I've ever seen.
That's a cigarillo, man. It's just a tiny cigar because he's real Italian. Listen to the way he speaks.
Well, yeah, he just smokes a little bit of it and he saves it for later.
Yeah, and then he shares it with other people.
Man, it's a blunt. It's got to be a blunt. He's shining shoes all day.
Not only is he shining shoes, he's shining shoes of what? I don't know if this guy is a security guard for the subway or a beat cop.
I want to say security guard because he knows an awful lot about. For some reason, he knows an awful lot about the wiring to the oldest subway system in America.
Yeah, 30 years old circuit box. Yeah, that's going to work the exact same as one now. It's really good that you have that in your movie. Oh, Matt, I hate it. The second they get down to that second level of subway, the entire movie goes to shit. That's when it fucking happens.
Why?
Oh, for so many reasons.
Jay.
Number 1, I need it to be known that not only is Geppetto, because he's shining this beat cop's shoes or the security guard's shoes, not only is he a shoe shiner, he's also a bootlicker.
Okay. Disgusting.
And then I also, well, you know what a bootlicker is, man?
Well, I assume it's somebody who licks boots, Jay.
It's the name of somebody who worships the police.
I thought it was somebody who gratifies themselves sexually by tasting feet.
No, it's somebody who bows down to cops. Like John Krasinski.
God damn it. You really got him there.
All the ACAB people who listen to this podcast are going to get that joke and chuckle. And that's all I care about.
Good. Good. The
kid even looks like Pinocchio, okay? I wrote that too.
For some reason, oh yeah, he was. He was like lighting his blunt with like a survival candle.
Yeah, not too much, not too little. I'm pretty sure he was lighting it with the same shoe polish he was using because it looked like the tin can.
It did.
I'm not 100%, but I mean, if you're putting chemicals in you might as well just fucking knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Oh fuck. So yeah, this whole scene is just the shoe shine, and he's like, "Look at my boy.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
He's fucked, ain't
he? He knows all these shoes. He's a shoe wizard.
That's a leverageable talent."
And he's like, "Look at me. I'm a shine of the shoes. I'm a teach my boy the shoe shine. Hey boy, look at this." And he's like, "Nah, I've got ADD. I'm gonna do other things."
He's got at least ADD.
Like
also, fuck you, because he's been making that sculpture. You could have taken that wire away so that he would pay attention at literally any time. It's finished. He's been there for hours doing that, probably.
He's perfecting his Mr. Funny shoes.
Yeah, Mr. Funny Shoes. We got to make sure for the police later, when they ask about neglect, what I was doing instead of being at school.
Yeah, he seems to talk a lot about this Mr. Funny Shoes who comes around at night and skulks around outside his window. We have some concerns.
I would look into this, but I'm busy thinking about shining shoes. All the polish has gone to my head.
I'm here trying to make a wooden boy. In my spare time, I spend all my time making a wooden boy.
Yeah, I don't want to hear wood and boy in the same after we've already discussed wood and its implications.
He's making this wood-in boy. This is what he's doing. He's gonna make.
Oh shit!
And one day he'll be a real boy.
Yeah, I hope.
I feel like that's all this scene was. He's just like, "Hey,
it's
boy,
that, and then
shine the shoe with me." And he's like, "Nah, Dad, I'm look at other shoes."
They got some kind of lead about this fucking storage room, so they have to go inspect it. But they got to make sure that the security guard is busy having his shoes shined. So you got CDC skulking around out front of, again, I'm gonna call it the NYC subway rape closet because that's what it is. It's a flimsy padlock, and nobody ever goes in there. And then also at this point, I wrote, could $30 million not buy you a better X-Files ripoff couple? Because that's what this is.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Like, as the movie goes on, I swear, like, this guy looks more and more like Danny Duchovny. David. I get him and fucking some other Danny asshole, and then Dylan McDermott. All mixed up. Pissed. I'm glad you corrected me because I would have been upset later.
It's okay. I was like, who are you talking about? So I think we just cut straight to like Mr. Funny Shoes is trying to go to church. And this kid's just like, haha, dumbass shoes, motherfucker.
Mr. Funny Shoes is back, and even though the CDC has caution taped and boarded off the front door, he finds his way in because he's a goddamn insect, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Have a crack in something, I'm getting through that shit.
Yeah, and even if I don't get through, some of me's getting through.
At one point, this Susan, the bug doctor, she gets kicked out of a conversation by mansplaining, because they bust into this, they bust into the fucking locker room, the storage locker room, and this is when the whole flashlight scene, because they're exploring around here for some goddamn reason, I forget, and then you see a shadow in the window, and you think it's Bugman, but it's actually the security guard, and then they get into an argument about trespassing. And then she comes to the defense of them being in there. We're scientists. We're fucking trying to figure this gross thing out. And this security guard goes, "Who am I talking to?" And this woman's husband stares her dead in the face and then goes, "You're talking to me." And then she just leaves because she's been misogynied out of the conversation.
I do remember that.
And that's when she talks to the little boy, because this is 1997 and you could still walk up to a child in the subway and just speak to them.
Yeah.
And then they have a conversation about Mr. Funny Shoes for some fucking reason. And that's when Geppetto says he's special.
Oh, yeah, that's what he's like. Yeah, my boy doesn't go to school because he's special.
Fuck's sake. Now, this security guard also, it needs to be known that this is not a highly populated subway. And he was in sight of the door they broke into. But he is too fat and lazy to interrupt his shoe shine to go do his job.
Right.
So they have minutes to fucking traipse around in there.
I think this stuff might be happening later in the film.
And he's like, come back with a warrant.
I feel like right now, she's like, she had gotten some of the DNA from the bug. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's either a leaf cutter ant or this bug we made. Can't be either any.
Right.
There's no other answer.
And the guy's like, boo!
And, like, she looked right at it. You should know the bug.
Yeah, you should. You have a dead one in a jar in your house.
Yeah, like, you made it. It's a bug you made. How do you not know what it looks like? Look at it, you stupid bitch.
I didn't write anything for that.
That's okay. That's just like that's that. It's a whole scene where they explain, like, oh yeah, so yeah, we made like sterile ones. They don't fuck. They're cool.
Right.
They just go in there and they die, and now
Got
there's
news
dead.
for you though.
But like, did you not follow up? Did anybody poke their head down there like a day or two later?
Nah, we saw the foam and the price. The stock of leg braces went down, so we just assumed we'd won.
Yeah, no follow-ups, just, hey, you know what? These kids don't seem to be dying as quickly.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
I'm gonna stop shaking them. So yeah, and then it goes from that to, like, the boy goes to work with his shoe-shining fucking father.
And that's everything that I just fucking described.
Yeah,
That's that scene.
Here we go, yeah, because there had to be...
I missed the part where, I didn't miss it, but I didn't clock the part where they're like, this is still inconclusive, let's move on with the movie.
Yep, yeah, this is the bug, just so we know these bugs are still alive, and just, we thought they would die, and here's our excuse as to why they probably didn't. It's because we didn't look, we didn't care. We just
give a fuck enough.
We let the bugs go.
I didn't want to go back down to the gross subway tunnel.
Are you kidding me?
I'm married now.
That's where poop and pee and rats are.
Ugh.
There's fucking poop down there. It's a tunnel for poop and pee to go.
I see plenty of it at street level where I live.
Yeah, New York City. There's just poo and pee.
More like
wherever.
New York City.
So yeah, no, we didn't go down there again just to make sure everything was working.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, we made the bug to do the thing, and it fucking didn't maybe work. I don't know. Schrodinger's
bug
tunnel there.
Yeah.
Just fucking, we don't care. It's science, you stupid idiots.
Yeah, it's science. That's the best way to dismiss anybody when you don't want to or can't because you're dumb. Explain something.
Yeah, so I mean I just summed up a whole scene with some wiffle waffle baloney right there. That's that whole scene, and then so it's like fucking today. Here's my boy.
Here's my boy.
He doesn't pay attention to shit.
Basically, yeah. No, like he doesn't go to school, like implying that you tried and it didn't quite take.
Yeah. I took him there, and we got some calls, and I just can't deal with that because I got to be here in the subway all day with the dirt.
Shining shoes for 50 cents. He doesn't go to school. He bites people there.
Yeah, you can't leave him alone with paste. He's a problem.
He comes home full, and I need him to eat food.
If you take your shoes off, it scares him. He doesn't understand.
He just thinks they're part of a body.
Oh my god. So it's the bug kids. The bug kids have brought them to this place.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this wasn't locked before.
Yeah, right. They must have changed the lockout, and they have no problem getting in there anyway because it's just a shithead padlock. Who cares?
Yeah, I think he even like pulls off like a crowbar or something out of a fire. This is in case of a fire glass box.
So, felonious. I'm pretty sure that it's a crime to tamper with those. Fairly certain.
And it is. So they, I don't know, they go in there and there's just like a crack and it's like underneath the,
Because this is where they found the bug, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It goes underneath the lockers and it's like the bug, there's just a bug there.
Yeah.
Just looking, just looking, it's a bug. And then, I don't know, they shine like a flashlight in its face and they drop the flashlight like a ding-a-ling.
And then while they're reaching for it, because she's got the tiny arm, so she gives it a shot. It gets a little closer, and there's supposed to be a moment of tension. But it's too early in the fucking movie for her to get a little bit more than just cut. And we know that just getting cut does fuck all because she already has been.
Yeah. There was really no consequence to that bug bite at all, I guess.
Nope,
not at all. So
good scene to have.
yep, that's that. Fucking Joey's just tapping his spoons away rhythmically.
He sure is.
He's just Rain Man in every piece of footwear in the subway, and that's that.
Yeah, man. Security guard comes in and then bitches at him. Come back with permits, and he goes, "Oh, I'll come back with a permit." You don't tell the Center of Disease Control guy to flex his muscles.
No, because
They
he will.
love it.
He'll quarantine this whole place because somebody coughed.
Yeah, shut it right down. Coughing is a symptom of AIDS lately.
I think she also tells these kids like, hey, we're looking for eggs. They look like this.
They look like a giant fucking thing that you should never touch.
They look like a bunt cake, to be honest with you. That's what they look like. Goddamn bunt cake. Delicious.
They look like the Michelin Man's shit.
They look like a jelly-filled bunt cake.
Yeah.
And I honestly would touch it so hard.
It would be tasty if it weren't so gooey and disgusting.
So yeah, and I think the kids somehow get deeper into the subway. I don't know how they do that.
Because it's supervised by one chubby man who doesn't care.
And I guess he's busy giving the CDC guy the business.
Yeah, and looking for homeless people to beat the shit out of, apparently.
That is a great deal of what he does and alludes to later in the film.
Yeah, like it's not a problem.
Yeah, like this guy is such a problem for these people who live underground that they have to make signs warning other people like don't go this way.
Cave paintings like Neanderthals.
You get the shit beat out of you. Yeah, I got some. You're telling me, Jay, that people who are alive and have parents,
yeah,
and like have memories of using toilets,
right,
can't write.
No, they lose all that once you go underground. It's something to do with vitamin B.
Oh yeah, you're feral the minute you're not under
vitamin
a roof.
D, I guess, because that's the sun one.
The minute you have to shit anywhere there's no toilet, you become feral.
Yeah, you turn
right.
into an ape man.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, absolutely. That's just how it works.
Also assuming a lot. So this guy's a bigot against the homeless because there could just be people who don't speak English down there. And the sign, hey, when you see the fat black guy with the gun, he might kill you just 'cause. That needs to be translated into other languages.
Okay.
Turns out symbols are great for that. That's why the hazard symbols for things like you'll be electrocuted is just a man dying of a lightning strike. Everybody gets that.
I'll give you that. Okay. All right. I imagined that they wouldn't have regressed to...
No, they wouldn't have. I mean, the fucking security guard himself is just like, well, you see the symbols? That means they fucking just can't speak. Because they're all retards down there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would they be down there? Also, it's entirely, according to him, criminals and people with mental illnesses, but he doesn't call them that. He calls them something far worse, and I can't remember what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I use the word mole people.
Yeah.
Because
turns out they're very good at speaking English and will take interviews. Now, there's not too many left in the New York subway, I don't think, but they're still very prevalent in the underpasses in Los Angeles.
Well, I'll tell you what happened to
Vegas.
them, Jay. I'll tell you what happened to them.
This man?
Cockroach people.
This man and the cockroach people, you're right.
So this kid's down here just traipsing through slime.
Yeah. And not being bothered by mole people.
No mole people to be seen. So
which you find out why later. But...
Red flag number 1.
Yeah,
right there. And then he finds like a purring bunt cake.
Yeah,
which is what he's looking for.
Now, you can't tell me that these two kids going all day, every day unsupervised by adults haven't come across and subsequently kicked a hornet's nest.
Right?
They must have done that at least once and been stung repeatedly.
That's just the way it is.
Let's cut into this undulating larval sac, though. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. It's purring like a kitten. So let's dive on in.
I would be worried about what's inside of it, let alone who the owner is. So I wouldn't be touching that regardless.
Yeah,
Kudos to them for their fucking gumption to get paid $10 though.
I feel like as a child you're much more willing to do gross shit
Yeah,
for
sure.
$10.
Sure.
But also, like, why are you cutting into that? You got to bring it to her.
Yeah, you gotta preserve the fucking thing.
Jesus Christ, kids! You're not gonna make your $10.
They can't even keep a butterfly alive. Which one of them is a psychopath that's pulling these butterflies' wings off all the time and just keeping those like trophies?
Why are you bringing me so many worms with legs? Oh my God! Oh no!
Why is this ant in half? Why is this ant in half and charred?
What are these little model snowmen you keep bringing me? They look suspiciously like, oh my dear God.
Oh, jeez.
Boys, no!
I may need some different kids now.
Yeah, you boys need to be seen by a doctor of the brain and the mind. So, something makes a noise,
Yeah, it sure does.
and that doesn't really distract us from cutting this bug thing open.
Now we're gonna keep doing
Because
that.
we're boys, and it's 1997.
Yeah, we're boys.
You gotta boys will be boys.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? I get molested in the dark?
Boys will be boys. I think the worst that's gonna happen is they'll molest something in the dark. That's the problem with America.
Man, this larva's pretty wet.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Well, again, I don't know why they just like, yeah, let's cut it open. I have a knife.
Yeah.
We're unsupervised boys.
What's the point of having a knife if we're not going to use it constantly?
Yeah. What's the point of being a latchkey kid if we're not going to do some crazy shit every now and then? Let's cut this bug wide open.
Yeah. Later on tonight, we'll throw a brick through a window.
But first,
Get in that bug. Now let me tell you who doesn't like that. Dad.
yeah,
Bug dad. Not a fan.
yeah, no, that kind of ruins his meal.
It does.
His meal that he's in the middle of having.
That and being so clumsy that you trip into just a pile of barbed wire.
Yeah, it's interesting that you just kind of let that tangle up.
They turn around and they see this giant thing feasting on some kind of meat that they can't quite recognize, and all he does is take one step backward where he literally just was and gets tangled up like the guy from the first Saw movie. Remember the first trap? And he attacks him?
Yep.
Like that.
Well, Jay, I'll tell you, I could recognize what he was eating.
Yes. Oh, well, they make it real clear to the viewer.
Yeah, they do.
Later on, it gets slapped down right on the ground, and what is that?
Well, it's Poochie. It's a Poochie Bow Wow.
It sure is.
Just, because, I didn't realize that this had so much in common with alligator.
Yeah, unlike alligator, we never get to know the owner of this one.
Yeah, thank God. It makes it a whole lot more pleasant that way.
This is an anonymous dog.
So, yeah, fucking barbed wire, and then death from above for the other boy.
Yeah, that takes no time at all, and make note of the fact that they have about 15 feet of space between them, these two kids and the bug. And that bug clears that distance in about as much time as it takes for one of them to turn around.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like real bugs, eh?
Yeah, it sure is.
So many legs, you would hope they move fast.
Be sure to make note of that.
Make a note right there.
Yep.
Jot it down. So the boys are dead and they're not getting paid, so that's...
Fuck it.
The scientists just saved $10 fucking right there.
Which is cool. That means I can kick off early and go interrupt my mentor's lecture.
And there's one less knife on the street.
That's true.
We're good. Everybody's winning. So yeah, the CDC calls his wife because he's got the permits now.
Yeah.
It took two boys dying. First of all, these are the first people to die in the film.
Asian man.
Okay. Second person to die in the film
Yeah.
is the
the children.
Yes, the children.
So naturally, the next scene is going to be about an investigation.
No.
Oh
No.
I thought when kids went missing in the subway, that police would be on top of that.
No. Haven't you ever seen an orphanage? They're just brimming with them. We lost one. Well, okay.
Well, that's a free bed, man.
That's more bread for Annie.
Yeah. Charles Dickens' kid isn't gonna have to ask for more.
One more bowl of gruel to go around, I
Perfect.
guess. Yeah, so they're dead. They're dead.
They are.
And that's all there is to it.
I hope that you didn't want any follow-up on the fact that they're dead.
No, I also didn't ever want to see their bodies for sure.
Yep.
They didn't even, they could have at least come across their bodies at some point and been like,
They spend so much time in this fucking subway, you'd almost have to.
yeah, but nah, that's not what happened at all.
Nope.
So he calls his wife. She got the permits. And she's just visiting a colleague.
Now,
right. So this is the guy who got up in the middle of the thing earlier and was like, "You're playing God. I'm out."
Now, given how familiar these two are with each other, you'd think when she enters a room that she would know whether or not he's giving a lecture and turn her fucking phone off.
Nah,
I'm gonna interrupt it. Bad.
Yeah, because
I'm more important than the students you're teaching. Maybe they'll actually learn from you.
They're only paying for you to teach them. Don't mind me, kids.
Ugh. So this whole thing, I mean, he sits her down and she explains the shit, and then he fucking scolds her while not scolding her. Like, he's like, I mean, it would be a bit of a hypocritical thing for me to be upset because something we play God all the time or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's like, my children aren't dead, so I mean, what can we? I mean, thanks, I guess, but also you played God like a stupid bitch whore.
Yeah, you should have done it better.
Yeah, did you see me get up and leave at the press conference? Fuck you, bitch. But thank you for saving my children's legs.
Right, I got kids. Yeah, that's what it was.
My children are up and not hobbling.
Yep.
So thanks for that, but fuck you a little bit.
Inconsequential conversation because this character doesn't matter.
Nope.
Also, I think this was supposed to be like a deep monologue that's supposed to make you think, but her complaint is like they never did this in the lab, and then he says the world is a much bigger lab. Oh, carting out your grade 10 poetry class project for this one?
Yeah, so she was like a professor of bugs. This guy was probably a professor of creative writing. That's what he gives a lecture on, is writing creatively.
He doesn't say it with any sarcasm whatsoever. It's like, dude, it was just, I don't know if it was supposed to be a sentimental moment. I guess we didn't, like the day after tomorrow, like we didn't anticipate this. Mm-hmm. But it was just a stupid line. It was just a dumb line. And then I don't even know if you see the guy the rest of the fucking movie.
I think he might be there at some point for something, but I don't think
he shows up at like the end for like a half second or something.
Maybe he doesn't play any other part in the film that's important other than that. So
great. So useless, time killer.
So I wish we didn't, but we do. We cut to Joey humming in his bed.
Yeah.
First of all, is his name Joey? Is it Chewy or is it Jewy?
It's
because I heard all fucking three. Everybody calls him something different.
His name on the IMDb is Chuy.
Okay.
Sounds like Chewy, all movie to me. Also, Chuy, Choi, probably the name of the guy he saw die.
Probably. So I from Shoe Guy, I heard Joey.
Yeah, he's Italian. The accent's thick.
Yeah, anyway, so he's out for a midnight stroll, just going to the church.
Yeah.
Gonna follow Mr. Funny Shoes.
And I don't understand, like, lock the window? Lock the window when you go to bed and leave your child in the living room when he's got a mind of its own and it's warped. What?
He's always in the living room. That's also his room.
Lock the door? Don't let him leave the house. Once again, you live... Okay, I'm going to say it again. I can't remember if it's C Avenue or C Street in East Manhattan. It's named that because they couldn't bother giving it numbers. They just assigned it a letter in like 4 other streets in this area. I wanted to know because I know kind of what East Manhattan's like a little bit. What real people would say about it. So I looked up a fucking Reddit thread about what it's like to live there. And the first post, which was deemed the most valuable, was walk like you know where you're going and don't be an asshole with your phone out. Because we're just rife with muggings, apparently.
Yeah, that's fair.
Holy shit. I think it was a goddamn coffee shop with all the muggings.
It doesn't even matter what I was thinking. It's not as good as that.
He brings those fucking... He just decides to sneak into where he saw Bugman go. Funny shoes. And he brings his spoons with him. And I'm like, he's going to have to Indiana Jones those shits through a door or something like that. I was thinking like he would have left him behind while he's running away or something. You'd have to scoop him up at the last second. Mm-hmm. Nah, it turns out they just make him family.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make him weird, kidnappy family.
Well, what else do you do when a boy can identify shoes? I don't know. I don't know.
He's in this derelict church, and for some reason it looked like a Victorian museum because there's like plastic on all of the statues.
Yeah,
and shit.
For some reason all like the holy statues are like sitting in the pews and have bags over them.
Yeah. Here's my problem. I'm gonna have to say this now, and it comes up even worse later. But so these bugs, they're like the first episode of The Walking Dead where they're trying to walk through zombie horde, so they coat themselves in zombie guts.
Yeah.
And then it rains them off, like, and so that sucks and they get caught. But it's the same thing with the scent glands of these bugs, which are massive. So they fucking rub pheromones all over each other and the bugs go away temporarily. He's got none of that on him. All he's got are a bunch of spoons to make a click-clack sound. Why didn't they eat the kid?
Probably because...
Two bugmen show up and they make it seem like they're communicating with each other because he's got these spoons.
Yeah, but instead he's just like, your shoes are funny, you shitheads.
You fucking Funny Shoes and Funny Shoes Jr. over here, huh?
How's fucking silly-headed, funny-shoed motherfuckers.
Get roasted, you fucks.
You fucking leg-having, shoe-wearing pieces of shit.
Literally no reason for them to not eat him.
Oh yeah,
they just like store him away in a steam closet for later.
They're probably stoked that he could clack ass back at him.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, thanks for the click clacks. We appreciate that.
These bugmen be great tap dancers.
They're probably wow. I mean, yeah. Great tap dancers.
Yeah.
Except, like, I don't. Is it their legs that make the sound, or is it like
I think that's their under the human looking shell bug mouths talking to each other.
That's what I was thinking too. Okay.
That's all I can surmise anyway. It's not explained.
Nope. No, it doesn't need to be. It's very
Oh.
What's his name? What's his name again? Sorry.
Whose?
The director of the film.
Oh, Guillermo.
He likes his films whimsical. So, you know.
So whimsical means who the fuck knows?
Yeah, you know, it's there's whimsy.
I didn't know whimsy was the same as nonsense.
It is. it is in this situation.
So they make a whole point of making it look like this kid gets eaten because he turns very serious by the end, and then the camera like gets covered by bug.
Yeah.
And then we cut straight to the water filtration plant where something's clogging the fucking drain port.
Yeah, something's clogging the drain port, and the guy who's fishing it out with a stick has a good idea of what it is.
I want to. The one thing I appreciate about this movie is that they cast people who look like they clean water treatment plant filters to clean the fucking filters. All of these people look as filthy as the water they're wading in.
It's probably actual people.
One of those guys is like a butler and a bunch of shit. The guy that has the hook that fishes out the lump.
Oh, damn.
He's like in stuff as a weirdo always because that's what he looks like.
I was thinking that that was like his job. Because like you would
He's just like actually they just went to the plant and were like, you guys want to be in a movie for 50?
It'd be like,
that's twice my pay.
He would have to know where all like the churners are because it would...
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine there's churners in there.
Also, it's either that or this is a steampunk convention because everybody's got on like those leather aprons and the fucking goggles. Goggles that you'd see somebody operating a rigid airship wearing.
Well, when we're not fishing dead boys out of the dam, we're welding.
I mean, I guess that'd be part of your job.
We only stop welding when there's a dead boy and there's clogging up the gutter here.
Yeah, they chirp him on his speed until he goes, it's a kid.
Yeah, hey, I think... Yeah, sorry this is taking me so long. I think there's a dead kid in the pipe again. Because
it's barely a surprise to him.
If there's one thing I know when I see it...
Uh-oh.
This is a dead-ass kid right here.
Sometimes I would think, seaweed or plastic in the ocean Nah, he just goes straight to dead kid.
Yep.
Because that happens more often.
We got a clog in the pipe. Well, call out Jimmy. Well, why don't we throw a yo-yo down there?
Call out Jimmy the kid guy. Fuck.
Get him to bring his basket of toys and see if we can pry this kid out.
Fuck's sake. It's also the same hook they use in Jaws to get the ropes.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a utilitas.
Yeah, it is. Nice. Man, you're killing it with the vocab today. Holy shit.
That's what I do now. I know words and I say things.
Man, you shaved and like the half of your brain that was possessed by the hairs. Man,
I'm free now to have my big worded thoughts like fucking shit and utilitas.
Pretty sure those both go hand in hand.
Utilitas fucking shit. So the CDC comes and he's like, hey, I think what happens is he's getting all coupley with his wife.
Yeah, they're doing the pregnancy test.
And then doesn't somebody call about their dead kid? Or something like that. Like there's like
a bug scientist gets called to the treatment plant because of the dead kid. And he goes, but we have the subway thing today. And she goes, I'll just have to meet you there. You might want to call the CDC for the dead kid at the water treatment plant.
Nah.
Clogging the filter with his bacterial dead body.
You might, but...
All right?
Nah.
Now, during this pregnancy test scene, let me fucking talk about this real good.
You mean when she takes her piss test?
She takes her goddamn piss test.
She takes a fucking piss test.
And they both sit on the toilet, all mouths agape, excited for the results. And she has a little egg timer, and then the egg timer goes off, and there's no results. So they go, shit, I guess there's no kid in there. And then she goes, these things can be wrong sometimes, and she throws it in the trash. And then the positive result fades in. There is no pregnancy test that, when there's a non-result, shows nothing at all. It's either a minus or 1 or 2 lines. All right? So they didn't wait long enough. And they're dumb as fuck for that.
They're scientists, Jay. I think they know how a piss test works.
Clearly not, because they only had to wait 10 more fucking seconds before scrambling out of the house, dejected and probably thinking about divorce.
Fine, well, they're not piss scientists. Fine.
Holy fuck. Also, for somebody who wasn't that interested in taking the nun piss, she sure was very disappointed by not being pregnant. Maybe you should have taken the nun piss.
She's not willing to try anything, just most things.
She's not even willing to try waiting.
she's not even willing to try giving it a second.
Holy fuck, it's literally one.
Don't throw it out. Come back to it.
Dude, put it back on the counter. I know it's unsanitary, but maybe it's like a COVID test. Maybe you just want to make sure.
Yeah, you come back and you make sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. No, she really didn't. Really impatient when it comes
I
to piss.
Googled pregnancy test results on images to make sure I was right on that one. There wasn't a single result that came up that shows a no as just emptiness in the field.
That would be the worst test ever, because how would you know when it's done?
Do I have an A or an F?
There's no knowing, because it's a piss test.
Yeah.
It would
also
be,
no result. Maybe you didn't aim right.
The only results would be anxiety. Is it or is it not?
Fuck.
When do I know? Maybe this one takes 2 hours. Maybe it takes 20 minutes. Maybe I pissed on it wrong. Who knows?
I shouldn't have gotten the piss test that was from the company that's owned by a magician.
I shouldn't have got the piss test with the winky face on it.
It's just, instead of a plus or minus, it's just poof, it's gone. That's a collar pull joke. I'm fine with that.
So, yeah. There's somebody waiting on the phone to likely talk about their dead kid. And yeah, they found something at the plant, and the piss test.
During this piss test scene, when there's that challenge where you're supposed to laugh without smiling.
Yeah.
That's the fucking caliber of Susan's acting when she's getting tickled in the bathroom during this scene. It looks like she's laughing out of fear.
Well, it's because nobody likes being tickled.
I mean, don't pretend that you do then. There's something going on in this marriage that's worse than just struggling to have a kid.
Well,
Given the fact that fucking CDC just ignores the shit out of her like any time that something's not about him.
yeah. Anytime she's not doing something related to piss,
Yeah.
he's just not into it.
Piss and bugs.
I got to be down the
Not
sewer.
even bugs. He doesn't give a shit about bugs either.
You pissing yet?
I don't hear it.
So they come. It's not a dead kid. It's not a dead kid.
Nope, that's right.
Thank God we didn't have to see another dead kid. Well, what is it?
What? I don't remember.
It's a gigantic bug.
Okay, good. It's the big bug. Okay,
It's the
I was
big
like
bug.
90%. Yeah, because they got it like on the autopsy table.
Yeah.
And for some reason, her only friend in this movie has some affiliation to a filthy man that sifts around in like the pond scum all day. And he's like, well, I remembered my friend, who our mutual friend is, and how you're a fucking bug scientist, so I kept this garbage for you.
Yeah. I remember one time he told me if anything has more than 2 legs, it's not a mammal, so I brought this right to you.
Yeah, because there's only 2 things on this earth, and it's mammals and bugs. There's no other things.
And now, I've never seen a lobster, but this is a lobster, right? This is a
He
lobster.
must have literally never seen a lobster.
I know 2 things, and it's dead kid and lobster. Now, this is not a dead kid,
No.
because
and-
it's got more than 2 legs.
Yeah, that's right. Great criteria for whether it's a lobster or not. Whether or not it has 2 legs.
He fucking sucks at identifying lobsters.
You must think a dog is one.
Well, yeah, more than 2 legs.
Yeah.
That's either it's not a child. It must be a lobster, a hair lobster.
What's her name? Who I don't even know if I wrote down her fucking name. Give me a sec here. I didn't write her name down. Oh, Remy. There it is. I found it.
Oh wow,
That's her friend's fucking name.
how inconsequential.
Yeah, don't matter. The only thing that matters about her in this scene is that she's been tasked with taking Polaroid pictures, and she already has 3 in her hand, despite having not taken any yet.
Well, those are nudes.
Also, they're from before.
Yeah, those are ones she took for herself.
To give to the guy?
Well, she was testing the camera.
Oh, okay.
You gotta take pictures
You
of-
test it with nudes, and then you carry them to wherever you have to use the camera next.
Yeah, and
Trust. See, look, it works fine.
well, you don't show them to people. You just hold them just out of view, so if people catch a glance, like, whoa, I shouldn't be looking at that. You know. You know, it's like when you have.
It's just a reminder for people to respect their privacy around you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whoopsie poopsie.
Fine.
This guy has no fucking idea what a lobster is. And then for some reason, we cut right to Shoe Man discovering that Chewie
Yeah.
is somewhere else.
Somewhere not in the bed in quotes beside the open window. That guy sees something shining out the window. He's gone every 5 minutes. What are you surprised for?
Yeah, this is what you get for putting his bed right in front of the window.
Yeah, his escape from shoe shining for the rest of his life.
Oh my god.
He's got to be smart enough to know he doesn't want to do that.
Oh boy, I think at a young age you're gonna be old enough to know that you don't want to fucking do that. That's not something you like. Nobody has a passion for it. It's more of a, God, I got to do something.
I like, though, that fucking Geppetto knows enough about his kids to know exactly where he went.
Oh yeah, well,
Well, he's in the dirty, derelict place I told him not to go anywhere near.
well, why wouldn't he be anywhere else? It's like
He
the
is
only
notorious
place-
for not listening at all.
Oh boy, he sure does see shiny things and just go for it, eh?
And because these bugs are always wet, you better believe they're shiny.
So, yeah, he goes down and he like looks through the little crack that Chewie climbed through.
Yeah.
And he sees the statue of Mr. Funny Shoes, and he's like, "I'm on to you, Mr. Funny Shoes. I fucking I got you this time, bitch."
Oh, man.
Like you should be concerned.
You should. That's right.
Like, first of all, he's calling him Mr. Funny Shoes.
Yeah.
And he's told you that this man lurks outside his window at night. Let's have a fucking parental thought in your goddamn
Just
Italian
one.
skull.
Just one. He continues to have less than one as he searches for his child. Also, when your kid knows 2 words and 3 of them are spoons, if he's calling a stranger funny shoes, like, that's yeah.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
it is.
Show me Mr. Funny Shoes right now because I have a phone call to make.
You're super fine with him hanging out with Mr. Funny Shoes. How about fucking Mr. Giggle Touches?
How did you get a good enough look at more of his shoes
Dr. Spread'em Touch.
that you can sculpt him in a day?
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, you really,
Does Mr. Funny Shoes wire sculpture have a dick? It better not.
really concerned with the drawings you've been drawing. With the funny shoes and the dicks you see, Chewy.
That fucking kid from The Ring, all he did was draw a well.
And nobody said a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Or did they? I don't remember.
Well, Naomi Watts is like, it's fine. Kids draw weird shit all the time. Oh, yeah, it was his babysitter in a grave, which maybe have a conversation about that one.
Kids draw weird shit all the time. This is a vigorous circle. Like, was he having a seizure when he did this?
This child put everything into this circle.
He damn near broke the pencil and grabbed another one. I watched him do it.
Thank God he was using crayons.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We go back to the subway where now not only do we have permits, but we have the man we got them from, who's once again Josh Brolin. And in an act of very petty revenge against a beat cop who probably gets paid like shit, and if he's a security guard, he gets paid even worse than that. Oh, by the way, since you hassled us so bad, enjoy being forced to work overtime.
Yeah, you're coming down into the guts of the subway with us
I'm
on
sure
a
you
Saturday.
didn't have on a Saturday.
Because security stops on Saturday.
Listen to my shift. Listen, I've just made your whole day worse. Just because I had to wait a little bit.
And on the 6th day, security took a break. And that's when Mr. Funny Shoes came to play.
Dude, Mr. Funny Shoes dug a hole behind a locker in a day, which is impressive.
Well, when a pedophile puts his mind to it.
Real quick cut to Geppetto doing barely any due diligence by calling the police and trying to file a missing persons report. I need to say every time that we encounter this in movies, there is no 48-hour hold on missing persons reports, especially minors. That's just a fucking across-the-board myth, and it sucks when they do it in movies for me.
Yeah, what would be the point of an Amber Alert 48 hours later?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the first 48? The first thing they say in that show is, that's the most important time when finding somebody who's missing.
Yeah, exactly.
48 hours later, they're probably dead.
Well, they've taken them to a second location. They're likely dead.
Yes.
That's how that works.
So that doesn't fucking exist. It's a myth because runaways, and fuck all that.
Yeah.
If my 17-year-old ran away, I'd want to know where the fuck he was too, probably.
Well, these days, a child steps behind a bush, and everybody in the fucking tri-state area, their cell phones are not even dinging, just
screaming at you.
Yeah, you would think a tornado was down the block.
Holy fuck. It's at the point, and this is just a sad state of affairs, but I sleep through them.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So they, this is where we find out the names that they give this guy. So the security guard, they fucking go down the ladder. They find a metal hatch. They go down a ladder. And the security guard's like, yeah, so there's mole people, dope heads, crackheads, and shitheads down here.
Shitheads, dude.
I'm really, because like I know.
Which one is that? The mentally ill?
I know what like a crackhead and a dope head.
Yeah.
I know because they love those things. That is why that name is given to them. It's all they can think of is crack and dope.
Language develops for a couple reasons.
Now, these people who are shitheads, I got questions about their hobbies. What brings them down into the sewer?
Hey, he differentiated as well, which means that he doesn't consider crack or dope heads to also be shitheads.
Right? You could be a shithead without having crack and dope in your system.
They're not mutually exclusive.
But a lot of dope heads are probably shitheads.
Yeah.
I mean, Jenkum is you got to get high.
Oh, man. That's the easiest one if you don't want to climb a ladder, which you'd have to get drugs.
All you need is a balloon in a jar.
Yep, that's disgusting.
That's probably stuff you can find in the sewer.
And there was an offshoot of Dirty Sanchez where two of the members, that's a stunt group from Wales, go across the world trying exotic drugs, like natural drugs from like different regions. Like they do the whole psychedelic frog thing. There's a bunch of other ones.
I think I remember that.
One episode, they huff Jenkum in a hotel room, I assume because they couldn't find anything fun to do during a rainstorm.
Well, I mean, what do? You can't go outside, Jay. You're gonna get wet socks.
I'll tell you something right now. You come out of the bathroom with a fucking brown and yellow jar, I'm going outside. I'm staying out there. Forever. Like,
You're gonna let me have all the fun?
Yeah, if that's the brand of fun you're into. Oh.
So well, we're climbing down the ladder, and he's like, yeah. So these shitheads down here, there's a rumor of a killer going around, and they call him Slim Jim or Long Coat.
Long coat, dude, is the only one. Is the only mole person in the subway with a long coat on.
Yep. And he's so slim, and it's
because you can tell under a long coat somebody's weight.
Yeah, how slim or slim not they might be.
They should probably try harder. How about bug guy? How about face splitting open guy and there's a bug behind there?
I feel like people don't want to get close enough to him to figure out that that's what he's all about.
Given the full and complete absence of any homeless people down here, I think plenty have.
Fair enough.
That's why the name's never changed.
So
fair enough.
We're down in the sewer.
We are.
This marks half the film.
Yep.
Right here.
Get ready for sewer.
Yep.
For the rest of it.
Sewer, I barely know her.
Oh.
There's no reason to get into a legal battle with her.
All right. You took a good thing and you made it better.
That's
I'll commend you for that.
That's what I like to do.
God damn.
That's what I like to do. That's what I'm all about. Sometimes I say things and then I just keep saying things.
Yeah, and it goes great.
Not always though. It's not always the case. Oh my god. So, yeah, just we're in this is right here.
Yeah.
Midway through the film. Enjoy. We're finally in the sewer. We're finally doing something after an hour.
And this is where, they really make up for the fact that the first half of the movie was a whole lot of almost nothing by making the something nearly impossible to see.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. They really... Because, it's pretty shitty CGI. I'm not going to lie.
Yep, it sure fucking the fuck is.
I'm glad they kept it in the shadows.
Oh, no, they didn't. They did the opposite of that.
It was just really difficult to see, and I'm so happy about that.
Oh, man. This is the part that sucks because the walls are gooey, and there's like a bug thing dangling that looks like the thing from The Thing. A little... You know when he, shoots off the table and turns into, a half spider?
Yeah.
That's just what I was picturing at this point, because I couldn't fucking see what I was looking at. And they're talking about how gooey and gross and what the fuck is this shit? This is disgusting ass shit. There's an improv line where the security guard, because he's black, he's got to say in the blackest tone just every swear word he knows.
Oh shit, I didn't even catch that.
But yeah, I can't see anything. And then there's a real gross dissection of this fucking big bug at the same time because the scientist is still above ground dealing with this bug.
Mm-hmm.
I much preferred just cutting back to that so we could see it. Barely visible wet sacks dangling and obvious improv from the cop. Then the Polaroids that she hasn't even fucking looked at. That she hasn't looked at yet.
Well, she doesn't need to look. She's dissecting the bug, Jay.
Apparently she loves having important documentation blow away in the wind because that's how she sees them. They fly off the goddamn thing, and then she looks at it and she goes, oh, there's a human face here.
Right. But also
it splits because it's all fucked up, so she folds it over.
Yeah. There's a weird pattern on the bug's shell or something.
Yeah.
She's got to...
And it takes half the movie to figure out why it's called Mimic.
And Mad Magazine was doing that for years, where you fold the back cover and there's a fun picture there.
Yeah, and it's probably somewhat pornographic.
Nah,
never. It's never too adult for a child to see.
No, it's usually just a cuss word or something.
Well, it's weird that my grandmother would never let me read those.
Yeah, I don't. It was very tame. It was a very tame magazine. Your grandmother's just a prude. So this bug they find is it's got fully formed organs, Jay.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
What does that mean?
I don't. That it's great.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't. I don't know anything about bugs. Do they have organs? Are they supposed to have organs? Because she says it like it's not supposed to have them.
Her point, I think, was that it reached some semblance of adulthood, and they're not supposed because they're supposed to have a very short lifespan as per the design.
All right.
Okay, so that's when she figures out that they're past the point that they were engineered to be. I think.
This movie really sucks, Jay.
Oh, thank you. Oh, gee, what have I been fucking saying for 2 hours?
Well,
Jeez Louise, goodness me.
I've been trying to give this movie something. Yeah, she's like, oh, there's fully formed organs. Let's not talk about it, though. I think this bug was part of a colony. This is all I've got to say, though.
Great.
I could explain things more, but let's cut back to fucking shoe guy fumbling around in the tunnels under the church, please. let's if you didn't get to see this, you're gonna get to see that.
I don't know why. Yeah, and so that's when. Yeah. She goes back to fuck down in there, and she's in the fucking subway, waiting for her husband to come up from the subway, for all of 10 seconds. Before asking a cloaked stranger's shadow what time it is, and then being surprised when she becomes abducted.
Yeah,
Lonely, just the two of them on the subway, you're in New York City, and he clearly has a trench coat on because look at his blobby-ass shadow.
Yeah, look at how tall and slim.
And silent.
Yes, it's almost like exactly, actually, I guess she wasn't there. I'm gonna give him that. She doesn't know about that.
Sure.
About the description of the serial killer.
Maybe act like you're in the city you're in, though.
Yeah, maybe don't just ask people the time. Look for a clock. It's the subway. There's going to be a clock.
And then she's like, okay, well, I guess if I ask twice, well, shame on me. And turns to walk away, and then the movie turns into the quality of the original Men in Black. The bug comes out and shows his buggy-ass self. It dips the frame so that she can turn around even more slowly upon realizing that it's a bug. And then it picks her up and flies through the subway at light speed. But I got to see just enough CGI to notice that you're just resizing the bug as it flies down the subway.
Jay, leave it alone.
You know when, like, in Blue's Clues, when fucking Steve jumps into a painting?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, they just digitally zoomed out.
And this. It's a picture of a subway. You have some post-effect lights flickering, and then that garbage. That's the thing that you chose to light better than the shitty subway.
They might as well have just did like a little rotation as it went down the...
100%.
Oh, so good. Yeah, well, I mean...
Hated it. I got pissed. I was like, this movie sucks. I was like, any hope that I had for it was dashed away at that moment.
It really makes me feel better knowing Guillermo hates this film because
he sure does.
I'm also pretty mad about this shit too.
Yeah.
So yeah, she gets fucking scooped up and carried away by this big old fly person.
Great.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Why wasn't she eaten? Why wasn't she eaten immediately?
Well, here's the problem. I think that she's pregnant with bugs.
There is a sequel to this movie.
Yes, I know.
So maybe she is.
This is why I think that.
Okay. I'm gonna run with that because there's no other good explanation for why she's preserved and then just dumped unconscious.
And like the ending to this film.
Yep.
Jay?
Yeah, man. Again, the last 30 seconds of this movie ruins everything. Everything that could possibly have been. It's not a long list at this point already.
Nope.
Fuck me.
Either of these people could be infected. They could have worms.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna come to the elephant in the train tracks ending of this film.
They're walking through the dirty subway still. This sucks too because this woman's fucking kidnapped and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
So inconsequential to the movie.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot how she got down into the sewer.
Yep. And because she just wakes up in it and traipses around until she gets found by someone else.
No, I mean like I forgot about the big bug picking her up because that sucked so bad.
It sure did.
Yep.
God damn. Least favorite part of the movie, right? Second least favorite part of the movie right there. I gotta clarify that. Mm-hmm. Make sure to. So yeah, we're back in the fucking subway, and they just walk out onto a rickety platform like an asshole, and it collapses.
Yeah, there's more. So there's more fecal matter.
Yeah.
And the cop's pretty mad about that. I think that's when he's like, yeah. I mean, what could be worse than looking into an open mouth is this.
Right.
And like I think the cop is like, no, it's the security guard. I think the security guard's mad because they're like, hey, you ever seen this kind of stuff before? And he's like,
Yeah.
the fuck do you mean I ain't never seen?
That's the improv line that I was talking about.
This elephant ass shit. I ain't never seen this.
Elephant ass motherfucker, like Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. So yeah, for some reason they go down to scaffolding and a bug falls, and then so the security guard takes all of 2 seconds to stomp that shit dead.
Yeah.
But he stomps so hard that, I mean, it's
like we're playing Uncharted fucking Drake's Fortune. Exploring an old ass tomb.
And it creaks and groans for long enough that
you could step off.
You really should have known to step off.
Yep. Josh Brolin in the back doesn't say a fucking word. He's probably seeing that thing begin to go, and he doesn't say shit. All he does is complain about there not being a ladder nearby. Which, is it really that hard to get back up? Because right on the other side of him is a fucking skylight with natural light coming in. You're not that deep.
I had some questions about that skylight that...
I have no words about it, aside from they're just barely below ground.
Like... Is that skylight, is that something people are, is it like a feature of the subway? People are like looking at that and going like, well, that's a really cool glass dome. There can't be anything below that. I'm stupid.
You know, Grand Central Station? It's like that shit.
Yeah, it's just, but like... Why they just fucking put the subway on top of a subway?
Yeah.
The skylight shouldn't have any light coming through it.
You're 100%. Because they don't know because the movie doesn't know where it is. Well, you go underground, and it's just all the same underground the whole movie.
It's several layers of disappointment.
Don't know why they're complaining, and Josh Brolin has to go all the way up to the surface to find help when he could just probably lower a stick down.
Yeah, he really could. I'm sure that...
It's like 10 feet.
I mean, honestly, there's probably some building materials right there.
Yeah.
It's...
Assemble the scaffold.
The security guard gets so pissed that he's trying to like climb up this, or no, he doesn't.
That's CDC guy, and he gets pissed at CDC guy trying to get help for himself.
All he's trying to do is get the fuck out of that hole.
Maybe he's really good at bouldering.
I don't see you doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Also, how is there no other way up?
There's probably a shitload of them.
You're telling me that?
But there's not because movie.
They never made stairs. They never made any stairs.
No, it stops at a platform that just opens up to the next floor down, and if you fall, you just now you're under New York forever. That's how they populate it.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, why else would you build a level and then not build stairs to it ever?
Yep. Or a ladder right on the fucking sheer wall.
You would just have a couple pieces of wood nailed to a tree.
Beyond. So dumb. So this is, and so like the rest of the movie sucks just by virtue of the fact that the only reason they're stuck down there is because they don't want to walk around a little.
Yeah.
Great.
So we got, I mean, look, Jay, there's clearly a way up.
Yeah.
They find it.
They sure do.
They find the way up, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need
Josh. Dumbwaiter.
They didn't need Josh Brolin to go to the surface to find them.
No, it takes a woman 5 seconds.
Yeah.
To find a fucking dumbwaiter that still functions impossibly.
So the security, I guess he like tosses him his badge and he's like, here, go take this to the surface and tell him we need help. Okay.
Cool. Where are they? Down.
Yep. I found my way up and I'm not going back.
It's shitty down there, literally.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's down there. Danger.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, underground, there's danger. So have fun. I'm never going back down there. Follow the goddamn glow sticks that you've been making a trail of, Josh.
Yeah, like breadcrumbs and Hansel and Gretel.
Because he's so hesitant. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't know the way.
I don't know the way out. So I'm gonna write the directions that are just right, left, right, like the fucking Konami code
on his hand.
On his sweaty ass glow stick having hand.
Yeah, like he's not gonna sweat off that. Oh.
Also, how the fuck does this detective not know directions?
Right?
He should know exactly how to get out of a dangerous situation as per his profession.
But no. Instead, this is where his bumbling comes in when he decides to write it on his hand and then just leave.
And like silly cartoonishly, okay, give me a second, hang on. He's ripping a pen out like he doesn't have a fucking pen pad as a New York City police officer in 1997. That's all they had. And they wrote that shit. They wrote statements on that shit all day and then promptly throw them in the trash if a black person told them.
That's where they just wrote gibberish.
Yeah, I don't care. Dark. Oh, it was a 5'7" white gentleman in his 60s. Okay, 1 second. 6 foot black afro.
That's a very accurate description. So, transition to a lady unconscious on the ground, which is never something good. It's never a great scene on the end of that transition.
I knew when she got flown away that she wasn't going to be dead.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know if this was supposed to be like a surprise turn or something, like the boy is later.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, fucking Geppetto, the second he finds her, forgets that his son is missing.
He sure does.
He forgets until they say some shit that would make it plausible that he's dead, and just goes, well, I guess he's fucking dead, isn't he? No confirmation whatsoever as to whether or not that's true.
You know what they say about Geppetto? When our boy dies, we find a new one.
Honestly, given the hassle, he was probably relieved.
Yeah. I mean,
good, I got my living room back.
Boy.
I can fuck on the Murphy bed again?
There's not going to be wire shrapnel for me to step on.
Oh, I keep wearing my shoes in the house.
Oh, man,
At least they're shiny as fuck.
I'm not going to know the size and make of every shoe in the fucking block area.
So for those who aren't going to watch this movie, which I hope is all of you.
Yeah, you know what? Skip it.
Picture the underground of Gotham City, repurposed. And when I say Gotham City, I mean 1980s Batman.
Yeah.
This is where the Penguin lives.
That's exactly what I was picturing as soon as you said Batman.
And it's the same color tone. Like they shot for blue and everything.
Yeah, he lives under the zoo or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just like if you've ever seen like this a shot of any sewer.
Yeah.
Picture that copy and pasted and then also filled with slime and CG bugs.
Copy and pasted in a circle so that when they walk, there's no stopping point.
Love it.
Even though it's the same, like a Buster Keaton movie where he just has the same, like they're driving and it's that scrolling, like actually painted background that's just on two rollers.
That is what it seemed like.
Yeah. She's in the sewer. She finds a grate and yells for help, which gives away, like, totally, she doesn't give a fuck about giving away her position to the giant bug who put her there.
Yeah, she wakes up in what I assume is a nest because there's so many nice shiny things around, like watches, like things people would lose.
That's where Chewie went.
And like things you'd have fun like collecting as shiny objects.
I didn't know that cockroaches were crows.
Yeah, neither did I.
For fuck's sake.
And she finds she sees like a pipe. And there's like a sword in the stone situation, but instead of like the stone, it's a dead guy. I don't know if he's all the way dead because I'm pretty sure he groans.
I didn't even notice.
I'm pretty sure he groans, and she goes, "Oh,
that's fucking
well, I still
funny.
need this pipe though."
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah,
you're kind of boned.
I guess I'm the king of Camelot now.
Fuck's sake. Also, like, isn't that just kind of obscure? Like, it's not 100% in frame, the dead body, but the shiny things are. What are your priorities when you're shooting?
Well, I mean, I noticed the whole fucking thing.
Thank God.
Because he has like he's like a death adjacent. Not quite there.
He's rattling.
Yeah, it was a rattle. So yeah, she's screaming for help. I think when you look up, there's just, first of all, she rounds this corner, and there's just a constant stream of drips.
Yeah.
Now, what you need to understand is that she's not in the sewer or the subway. She's in like the ultra subway.
She's in like a manhole instead.
Yeah, she's like it's almost like a sewer inside of a subway, which is exponentially filthy.
Here's the other part too. It's not barely 10 feet below the surface of the street.
Yeah.
But when we do the zoom out and she's screaming for help, it looks like about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, it's trick of the camera, trick of the shitty movie. So what you got to understand is that the deeper you go under the earth, the grosser it becomes.
Yeah, because I mean, janitors aren't going down there.
No, they're not. So when she's in this area and she's looking up, there's just like drips hitting her in the face, and you look up and there's people walking, so you know that like there's piss and shit and dog piss from the street and spit and
it's New York. Blood.
And it's congealed and just all together and formed a liquid that is now running down, and it's getting in her mouth.
And eyes.
Yeah.
Pretty much every orifice. Now, your husband works for the CDC. You tell him that story, and he puts you in a glass case forever.
Yeah, you'll never be kissing that mouth again.
No.
So, I mean, I all for nothing, because, I mean, nobody she wants to hear hears. Not a single...
The exact opposite of that.
Yeah. It only falls on troubled ears.
Cut to Josh Brolin is supposed to be urgently getting help, but he stops to smell the larva.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
This is when you get like the whimsical score, even though it's probably supposed to be like a tense scene. It's like he's just bumbling around.
He fucking Mr. Beans it.
Wind chimes when he uncovers the larva, like it's the goddamn Wizard of Oz. Yeah, he's pulling back the curtain.
Yeah, you know what? I hear sounds behind a metal door, and I know what like is happening around me.
Fun fact about this movie.
I continue walking.
Now that I remember this, because I wrote here, this was probably an X-Files episode in concept that got turned into a movie. It was actually supposed to be a 30-minute short that got turned into a movie.
Oh, it should have stayed 30 minutes.
It was supposed to be a 30-minute short that was also on an anthology disc with comedies.
Oh.
Enjoy that, Miramax.
Miramax. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you what.
Doesn't that explain a lot?
It doesn't. It explains nothing.
It explains why they walk so fucking slow. They wrote a 30-minute script. It was, okay, well, you just gotta walk longer.
All right, we got 50 minutes of pipe walk here.
We gotta hit this 2-hour mark, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why we challenged ourselves to hit the 2-hour mark when an hour and 20 minutes would have been just fine.
Yes, better.
But no. So fucking he's probably lost, and he opens up this thing. Why? Because that's where the egg room is, and it would be fucked if we didn't see it.
Yeah, we gotta see the fucking Godzilla egg room.
Yeah, we gotta see these huge eggs that are way bigger than the eggs that were prior eggs that we've seen.
I can tell you why.
Tell me why.
Well, we're in metamorphosis stage now.
Oh.
You saw the larva eggs, and as per the progression of the movie, now you're seeing the second stage of growth into a dirty insect with wings.
Yes, we want the eggs.
These are cocoons, probably. Now, this is me giving the movie way more credit than it deserves.
You are. You're
fine.
Again, now you're the one that's reaching out trying to grasp a good film.
Yep.
Nah, let's stop doing that. I feel like
okay, fuck this movie.
So he hears the fucking sound and he spins around. Nothing's there. Or is something there? Something's there. Something
you hear
is
a
there.
sound, something's the fuck there. Look at what you've literally been seeing for hours down here.
Oh, pardon me, I can't see that big bug person through the clear water that's running down in front of it.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, all I see is water.
And the ajar rotational bank vault for some reason. Why the fuck is the door a circle? Like a safe?
I feel maybe that's because it's a sewer.
Grates.
You know how, like, when you close off, I mean, I don't have to tell you how pipes work. But isn't that how pipes work?
Are you trying to compare it to like a fucking gate valve?
I don't know. I don't know all about plumbing.
It's just like a massive metal door. It's got nothing to do with anything.
The only thing I know about plumbing is like walking down the aisle at the Home Depot and going, look at all these funny pipes.
That's not even where you go to see funny pipes, dude.
Mr. Funny Pipes.
You go to Chippendales for that.
Oh, those pipes aren't funny. Those pipes are scary. If you want to see funny pipes...
They're scary and they mean business.
If you want to see funny pipes, you bring those men to a house of mirrors. Clown pipes.
Oh, look, it fixed the bend.
Oh, no.
I only send nude selfies over Snapchat in a bendy mirror so that it looks normal.
Yeah, I like that liquefy tool. It really helps me straighten things out.
Fuck.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know what that big metal door was all about. I assumed that was just pipes, but I guess it's not pipes, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I'm not a plumber. I don't know shit.
So Dingus tries not at all to get out of the fucking wide open hole that opens up to ground level despite never visibly climbing a ladder in this movie.
Yeah, no, I think he stacks a couple boxes up on top of each
Yeah.
other and climbs that.
And I'll hold on to the flimsy sewing machine cord and hope to God that works for us.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, it was a cord. I thought
Yeah.
I thought they just tied a rope to a table, and I was like, why are you grabbing onto that? That's not going to be tied to anything that's substantial.
I think this is just the basement of the sweatshop.
Oh,
Yeah, hence the sewing machine.
So this is just not even the tunnel they went down into.
No, they found their way back home.
So this explains why Mr. Funny Shoes is always like going in and out of the
Yeah.
basement and everything.
And why he knows what the sound of somebody trying to scramble out that way is and immediately comes over and deals with it.
Fuck. Imagine, oh man, being in that building in the heat of the summer when that sewer pipe is working.
Oh my God.
And all you are is just a grate away from liquid shit running underneath your feet.
I got news for you. It doesn't even have to be warm for it to smell horrible.
No.
It just does if it's open, man.
Now, imagine your garments sitting in that room. I can't imagine they're going to absorb a lot of good smells.
Why does my child's quilt smell like shit?
My order from the Sears catalog came in. Smells like a sewer.
This already has skid marks in it.
You said it.
So, pissed about the fact that Geppetto was still alive, and also that Susan is still alive. I think this is after Josh Brolin gets chomped. This is when they come across each other. Geppetto's in the fucking sewer looking for his son because he just knows fatherly intuition that he's at the wettest, shiniest place in the city, and just sees her in the grate and forgets, like I said, that his son is missing.
Yep.
Down here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a lady down in this hole.
Better get help for the lady before locating my own flesh and blood.
Has anybody put lotion on you?
You look like you could use some cleansing lotion for all the shit drips in your mouth.
So is this where... So she's... Okay. So in between this, she stabs the bug that's chasing her.
Yeah.
And then she trips and falls, which is like the one thing you don't want to do in the sewer is like get your face as close to that ground as possible.
Yeah.
And then she winds up like in a basin or a tank or something. It's
right.
It's like a pool with a grate. And she climbs down the bottom of it and she just falls. Because look, this doesn't make any fucking sense, Jay.
Why would you go more down?
First of all, why would you have an area for collecting liquid shit with a grate when that grate in the bottom of your liquid shit tank goes down to just more? It's like Freddy Krueger's boiler room down there. Like people have to work down there and just you've got sewer shit running down on your head the whole time.
Sure, dude. It's nuts. Perfect like that.
So I don't just did a thought. Is this why they had to just build another? I don't understand.
It's a worse version of Labyrinth.
You just keep going down and down.
Because at the very least in Labyrinth, there's no grown man trying to come after a young boy. David Bowie knows his place, is my point.
Well, David, I mean, in that movie, he's already got the boy.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Yeah, he's got the baby. He doesn't give a
shit. Well, that's glad he's dead.
That boy is safe. You remind me of the Babe.
Yeah.
That's
great.
That's the whole thing.
I fucking hate that movie.
Now Geppetto is like looking down the hole, and it's no longer a bug that scared her. He's like, "Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna get you out. There's one thing I know, it's a pipes.
Oh my God!
Don't eat the mushroom.
He just fucking feels at home here. That's why he's exploring.
Eat the mushroom, you go real big.
Ooh,
reach of the pipes.
As in bloated before you die of poison.
Yeah.
So now we get CDC. Peter and the security guard he's stuck with. Earlier in this movie, 2 kids get killed by a bug.
They sure do.
One of them happens to be African American. And
he's the first one to go.
This is the only other African American in the movie, as far as I can tell.
I think so. I don't know.
And when he gets nervous, he sings Negro spirituals.
He sure does.
About fucking like 18 foot of LA County chain. And oh my God, something about like my kid's sick, but Massa has his work for him in the field, so you got to worry about that later on. It's so fucking dead on the nose.
I wrote some of it down.
Yes, tell me.
So you're singing about how we got a telegram this morning saying his wife is dead.
Yeah, right. Even better. Not sick, dead.
And like, come on, a telegram? I feel like that's something you could tell him in person. It's a serious matter.
It's a bit expensive, probably, back then.
Well, like, this is the whole thing, like, don't shoot the messenger, you know?
Yeah.
This is where that comes from.
Sure.
He's down there, he's singing away, but he's also like, hey, it's weird there's no track bunnies down here, which I thought were sex workers who lived underground.
I thought they were hobo prostitutes. Number one.
Nah, rats.
Oh.
And, I mean, that should be a red flag right there.
And yeah, it should. Every horror movie that's got rats, like in a swarm,
and then there's a lack of them.
Yeah, and you run in the same direction they're running every time. If they've already ran, then you're done.
Yeah, you're fucked unless you've assumed that the mole people have eaten the rats.
The second part of that verse about his dead wife is that he asks for time off to bury her, and his boss says, "No, you have field work to do."
Boy.
I wonder what kind of field it was.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. CDC guy wants nothing to do with that. I think he yells at him for singing.
Well, he's trying to be an ally.
Yeah. So, I don't know, CDC guy's just like, yeah, there's some wires and shit. I could probably get some power going here. I'm just the CDC guy, so I know a lot about wiring.
Yeah.
An entire building, an entire subway system, and you absolutely, I know for sure I can do this. There can't be any more than 2 wires.
It turns out there aren't. Yeah, huge issue with that. Huge issue, because if a platform is crumbling just by 2 men standing on it, then everything has degraded in here. And, I mean, security guard has a great point. Yeah, you're going to rewire all these wires? What are you, retarded? Turns out no. Later in the movie, you fucking movie.
Yeah, he's like, you need we need permits and crews for that. He's like, oh, what, do you gotta have a memo every time you take a shit? And then well, this is where they hear something behind them, because mid-argument, mid-scuffle, they stops them right in their tracks.
And this is where you learn how the security guard deals with homeless people and rats, and it's by hearing them and not seeing them and immediately drawing his gun. Right away.
Well, you don't want to be the last one to draw your gun. That's how you die.
Oh my God.
That's
bit overkill when all you're dealing with is homeless people and rats. No wonder they're writing cave paintings about you. You're probably the reason it's empty.
Yeah, the way he said it should have been like, wow, I don't know where all the track bunnies are. Huh.
It's weird. Don't check my apartment.
Don't see any mole people either, but one thing I do know is that they're not going to be down here. And nobody should go down there. Because I've been stooling, and I don't want you to smell it.
I've been stooling.
Oh, boy.
Shit.
So, it's Shoe Guy, who's got a name I don't remember.
Geppetto.
He's got a real name, too.
Yeah. And Geppetto hasn't been killed by bugs despite smelling deliciously of olive oil and freshly baked bread, I'm sure. In order purely to facilitate reuniting Susan with her husband. That's the only reason his character exists in this movie, because everything about him becomes very inconsequential.
You're not wrong.
Can't say the same for the boys he forgot about.
Let's just say he didn't forget about the boy. He just put the boy on the back burner.
Yeah. So until he could assume that he was dead.
Well, he doesn't ever get to assume he's dead, because, look, spoiler alert, he finds the boy. The boy doesn't get murdered because, for reasons. Susan didn't get murdered because she's pregnant with bugs, we're going to assume, for fun.
Sure. Yep, sure. It doesn't explain Geppetto's survival, though.
No, it don't.
Later on, they're like trying not to sweat because of the pheromones. He is the wettest man in the subway.
He's been sweating since the day he was born.
Holy fuck. He looks like he just got out of the shower and he was out of towels.
You think you shine shoes for a living and don't sweat profusely all day, every day for no reason?
Yeah, you got to get the fucking dirty polish fumes out of your pores somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's just his body rejecting everything. Shutting down.
So now, remember earlier when I made a point of remarking the speed of this insect twice?
Yes.
In this scene, when the insect shows up because they're all together again, and they need to find some kind of shelter, and there's a train car all the way across the subway sewer, it miraculously, I don't know if it amputated its own legs, 5 out of the 6 of them, but it moves at about half the speed it was before so that they can make it to the train car.
It's really nice of him.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
you gotta have fun with your, play with your food, I guess.
So yeah, they pull the lady out of this grate hole.
Yeah.
And as they're doing that, they drop a little glow stick down there, and it lights up the bug as he's flying up there. And this is what prompts the security guard to ask, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, right.
Several times.
Many times he asks.
Nobody explains.
Well,
nobody. I mean, you should just.
Only one person knows at this point, and she's busy being afraid of dying.
Yeah. Do you really?
Because she's dangling.
Do you really need to know? Like, look at it.
It doesn't matter.
It's not a friendly thing to look at. It's actually quite scary and coming at you.
Yeah. Worry about what later?
Yeah.
If I was on the plains of Africa, right, and a lion was chasing me and I had never seen one before, I wouldn't need to know the breed.
I would just see, the scary thing hurtling at me. So powered by, like, what the fuck, he just grabs her and...
Powered by what the fuck, that's good. That's that save your kid from a submerged car from drowning muscle.
Except his is more, let me get you out of here so I can go. Clearly, I
don't want to be that big of a dick.
You've got my harm already, so I'm committed to yanking you. I'm gonna heave ho this. I'm
Listen,
out.
If the only way I'm getting my arm out is to bring you with me, fine. I guess.
Like he had a hold of her, and he's also the first person to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm not wrong.
No, you're right.
So that's everybody forgets to close the grate except for the shoe guy. He goes back and he closes it, which I think is what stalls that bug from getting to the train car.
What? Let me tell you. Are we just gonna go with that?
We are,
because all he does is bust through that thing in a split second, like the upstairs door from earlier.
Hey, Guillermo del Toro.
It's not suspenseful when you've already seen him moving faster than that, and then he moves slower for no reason. Oh, just 'cause movie.
Just well, maybe he stubbed his toe. Maybe he stubbed
his toes.
Yeah, one of his many funny shoed toes.
Yeah, his phalanges.
So they get to this fucking train car. It's underneath the train cars. Underneath the train cars, they finally make it to some train car, and
this is the one that's gonna work and save their lives, though.
Yeah. And the bug also makes it. He makes his top half makes it.
Yeah.
And it takes the security guard unloading what I would call a curious amount of bullets
for the gun.
For the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also just to, like, not do any real damage to anything at all.
Yeah, also really nice of him to, instead of, like, just squishing it, like he's already stomped on one once, instead he's going to make everyone in the train car deaf.
Yeah,
so that
really
they can't
nice.
hear what's coming after them.
It's fucking wonderful the way they do that.
Holy shit. Let's shut the door on this bug so that we're in a sound vacuum, and then I'll fire several rounds at your head height.
Oh, yeah. Feet away from your head, too, by the way. But and like, you're going to be in, like, downwind of my bullets.
Yeah.
So you better
downwind of them.
You better hope I'm firing true.
Everything in the path of a bullet is downwind of a bullet.
Oh, for sure it is. Yeah. That's why I said it. So they like close the door on this fucking bug.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No. Well, his top, like, I assume that there's some kind of, I don't know about termites or mantids, but you know how you can just, like, slice a cockroach in half. So if the movie's getting confused as to what insects it combined to make the insect, that's par for the fucking course now.
Well, I a lot of bugs probably scuttle about after you've pulled them apart like a maniac.
For a little bit.
Like a troubled child who's probably going to do a lot of crimes in the future.
Slices fucking security guard's leg wide open.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it scuttles about, and the security guard just wants to put a couple more bullets in it for fun.
Yeah. because that worked so well the first time.
Yeah, and after being warned it's not dead, he looks away and takes all of his attention off of it because it doesn't move for all of 3 seconds.
Like, paying no attention to the scientists that you're in the room in danger with.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, listen, I made this. Let me tell you one thing I know. It's not dead.
Don't pretend to know my daughter better than me.
I made this, and I'll tell you when it's fucking dead. So yeah, he looks away, and it slices down to the bone.
Yeah, it does
somehow,
because that's a lot of blood.
Oh yeah.
Well, earlier in the movie when they're examining the big one, they look at, because it's a soldier. They look at the giant claw, and it's like a fucking cassowary's toe, man. So I'm not surprised that it goes that deep and is that sharp.
I guess so. Like, it's a big bug, I imagine. Because, like, look, in the bug world, they've got exoskeletons.
Yeah, they sure do.
So they're quite firm. But when it comes to big man, big man beats small bug every time.
Fair.
So I imagine big bug,
you need bigger man.
Well, yeah, and the exoskeleton is going to it's gonna be exponentially as hard the bigger the bug gets.
Sure.
So I'm gonna say, like, oh, maybe it's a bulletproof bug.
I thought we weren't doing the reach.
I know, but then
if you look closely at it being shot, those bullets go in.
They in.
They just hit all the wrong spots.
Okay, they don't hit any of the human organs that it forms.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I spoiled.
Oh gee. Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, the bug fucking slices him wide open, and I really enjoyed the shot where it's like the outside of the train car, and it's just lighting up because he's just putting it
blinding
in
and deafening his cohorts in this scene.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that shot made me laugh.
So this is we're gonna examine the thing that is now dead, or at least the top half of it, and this is when we're gonna find human organs inside, and this is when the characters realize why the movie is called Mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Not halfway through the movie, 2/3.
Ah, yes, you're correct. You're right.
So good.
So close to the end of the movie do they put this all together.
Yeah, and so much so that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At all.
And, like, you don't ever see the human organs being used for any reason.
No, you just see the lungs and the face thing that she has to do the callback to the Polaroid that only she saw, so naturally it's going to be effective to all these people who didn't, by squishing the bug's face back together so it looks vaguely like a person.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting to me is that you would have to be absolutely funny-eyed to think that looked like a person at all. You would have to have your eyes closed to be tricked by this because it looks about as human as like a dollar store mask.
Yeah, it probably is one.
It looks like the theater, like, laughing, smiling. Closed. Like, it looks like it's got a nose shape, and that's that.
I swear I swear I've seen something somewhere that looks exactly like this, and I can't place it. It looks like a jade figurine.
Okay.
Like, it's got like weird carvings where the eyes are and shit. Like, it's not even fucking close.
Yeah, no, it's really not. And, like, later in the film, they startle the CDC guy with one getting up in his face.
Yeah, boo.
And, like, yeah, okay, it kind of looked like a face there for a second. You showed it
before I looked harder.
Yeah, you should have showed it for a split second instead of a whole second.
God,
it would have been a little more startling. So anyway, they see the lungs and they're like, oh, look, it's bugs. You see, bugs.
Yeah,
They evolved to mimic their predators. So this is mimicking us.
I don't know how a bug would get inside a person and figure out what lungs look like and know to care about that.
Yeah, but it did. So fuck you, man.
Sure.
You know, there's one thing when I see something vaguely human, and the dead giveaway for me is whether or not it has lungs.
Oh, that's the thing.
And generally, those are on the outside of the body, so I know right away.
Oh. I don't know what kind of surgical anomalies you're looking at in the fucking the baby ICU, but lungs are on the inside most of the time.
Oh, well, it's interesting because this bug's got them on the outside because all they do is merely flip it over to find them, meaning they're exposed all of the time.
Yeah, the softest, most vulnerable organ in the human body is right on the outside?
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
all you gotta do is flip that bug on its back, and it is fucked.
That means the security guard didn't aim at all.
No. So, if you're wondering, like, oh, well, how do things evolve so quickly?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only been 3 years. How could it go from being a tiny little bug to a person?
I wrote my theory before they explain it uselessly, which was just, someone's been fucking the bugs. I was like, I bet there's some fucking group of guys down here because they're vaguely human just fucking the shit out of these bugs. And it's a person hybrid of some kind. Otherwise, why?
Somebody's been fucking the bugs.
Dude, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Which one of you mole people's been fucking these bugs down here?
The larva's big enough.
Hey, none of these bugs are walking right. Which one of you guys did this?
Jeez Louise.
Take your dicks out. Which one has the goo on it? Which one has all the scrape and bite marks?
Open your trench coats. I need to see wounds.
Show me your Peters.
Bugs can't consent. I can't remember the name of the law, but what determines whether or not something is fuckable as an animal is whether or not it would be able to consent in theory.
Well, let me tell you.
I don't know. Unless it's doing it in Morse code with those clicks, I would never know the difference between yes or no on a bug.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we're traipsing on some dangerous ground here.
Woo!
Consent and bugs. God, you see those chimera ants?
Fucking,
There's something you can fit your whole wiener in.
oh my god.
So the reason this happened is because she assumes, because she's a scientist and she
Yeah.
can do that,
Yep.
that when she sped up their
Use all of your no research for this one.
her ass research.
Yeah, exactly.
When she sped up their metabolism, she spread up their what was the word?
Breeding
cycle.
Yeah. So they gave them that hard limit on survivability, that lifespan, but they just be fucking in that meantime. Holy shit, they fuck like flies.
Yeah, so
As you just fucking, you wake up for the first time, you fuck, and then you die, and somehow there's flies everywhere.
yeah, so like, well, how long is their lifespan's like what? It's like 2 days, isn't it?
It's something like that.
How come there aren't more dead flies? I feel like there should just be way more.
Yeah, there should. They get eaten by stuff. I don't know.
Fair enough. So so she's like, yeah, there's probably been like 100,000 generations in these last 3 years. Where are all the carcasses? Where's all the carcasses of these human-sized motherfuckers?
Holy shit.
Hundreds of thousands of generations?
They cannibalize.
They would have to. There would
Yeah.
I would expect a fucking pyramid that popped up out of sewer grates.
Everywhere would look like fucking Greenwald's wrist in the Ace Ventura scene where he's eating the sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
And except it's bug wings, big ones.
Ugh. That's the best.
It'd be your favorite. I know that it would.
I feel like those are the healthiest part of the bug.
I think they might be.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like
I'm really pissed.
the most low-fat part of the bug.
So the whole thing about these bugs is that it's a human face shell over top of their bug parts.
Yeah.
At no point, I mean, Men in Black came out before this, right? I think it was like 91 or 2.
No.
Am I wrong? Is it later?
It would have been 97 or 8.
97. Okay.
Maybe 6.
Then it's a little bit excusable that when the bug like splits its human face open, it doesn't go, I'll put my hands on my head. Is that better?
Oh, yeah. You want me to put my hands
I'll put my hands
on the back of my head.
on my head. Also,
Sugar.
yeah,
And
none
water.
of these bugs ask for sugar water. And they don't threaten any of these people by saying in a few seconds they're not even going to be madder. Fine.
Matter. Yeah, in a second. What if you were going to be matter? You know what's really funny? You went Men in Black.
Yeah.
When I saw the bug faces, I went the other way. I went Independence Day.
I also had that thought.
Different Will
Yeah.
Smith movie, but I feel like they had like really weird human faces that split open too.
They had a thing over top. I think it was like armor.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
their gross ass eyes and shit were underneath that.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
And the same thing. For some reason, aliens. People love to make aliens look like bugs in the 90s and 2000s.
Well, in this movie, they are bugs.
Yeah, and they're not aliens, but Cockroach Man, fucking Men in Black. Those things, Independence Day. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm fine. I'm here.
Everything in the Matrix, every robot in the Matrix is either a bug or a squid.
I'm here for it.
And squids are just sea bugs, bro. It's the same thing.
Fuck. You're blowing this wide open, man. Lobsters?
Yeah, right?
Bugs of the sea right
Yeah.
there. So at this point, Shoe Guy has the most Italian meltdown I've ever heard.
About his dead son.
He's like, I can't believe you genetically modified bugs. I'm
As if
steaming mad. I can't believe this.
I hate that you said that. They say steaming mad because they're always making pasta.
Oh my god.
Instead of continuing to search for the kid that he doesn't have confirmation or denial of his life, he's just like, well, he's dead, huh?
Yeah, and the security guard's like, yeah, she made your son die.
Yeah.
That fucking, you get her, man.
Let's all get mad.
Yell at that bitch some more.
Hey, maybe we shouldn't be yelling right now because there's bugs everywhere.
Yeah, maybe.
And then, bam, bugs.
Whoopsie poopsie. And then apparently it's the blood, Jay.
Yeah, it's the blood from your dirty leg wound.
It's the blood from your dirty leg wound. So here's what we're going to do.
You're going to tell me that CDC man and the security guard, neither of them cut themselves falling on poorly nailed together wood earlier 10 feet?
You're going to tell me that
They're just fine after that.
there's not one fucking needle? Not one needle in the sewer.
Great point. Well, that's probably already been sucked dry.
All the bug people are very nice. They sweep.
Matter of fact...
Before they bring their pupa in, they fucking, let's get all these needles out of here, guys.
Oh, man. Bring in pupa.
So yeah, they're like, hey, well, give me that knife. Give me your knife. I'm gonna get in the bug. I'm gonna get up on this bug's guts.
Yeah. What we're looking for here is scent glands that we can rub all over this man's open wound, giving him sepsis immediately so that he doesn't get eaten by bugs.
Yeah, and I really enjoy later in the film when he's like, hey, I'm gonna take this off, right? And the CDC guy's like, nah. Don't.
No. Bad
Keep
things
that
will happen.
Yeah.
Make sure you and that leg are real close for the next little bit. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to miss him.
So you can tell bugs are bugs sort of by the way they are. And they like when, because like they're disemboweling their friend in front of them through the window.
Yeah.
And just rubbing his blood and guts all over the walls.
Yeah.
That didn't piss them off.
No, they were like, I need 5.
They were just pleased with the smell, and then they buggered off. That's what they did. They buggered right off.
They hissed off. I like yours better. Bugs also hiss.
They do. And then also the bug spray is called off. So.
Oh, nice.
Here we are.
Oh, double.
Here we are.
That was a twofer.
And then so now we get Shoe Guy sparking up another fucking stogie.
Yeah, let's hot swap that around with your gooey bug hands.
Yeah,
That's
know what?
great. Now that you might as well just inhale everything disgusting.
You know how we've been tripping and falling face first all over the dirty sewer ground? Let's basically kiss using a cigarette. How about that?
Holy fuck.
Yeah, let me get a hit of that.
The germs I already have aren't enough. Let's get some of yours.
Yeah.
You know they say New York is a melting pot.
You've been chewing on that all day, haven't you? Let me have some.
It's probably delicious. It's probably not soggy at all on the wet tip.
Italian man mouth. Anyway, so that's, I mean, and that's, I did enjoy though. He was like, hey, do you mind if I do this right here?
Yeah.
Right in your face. And they're like, fucking just do it, man.
Look where we are. It might be the last thing you ever do. I'm not going to stop you.
I couldn't see this possibly making it any worse.
Yeah. Fucking. So now we got to get the fuck out of here. So in this dirty old train car from literally as per explained by the characters 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is pop on over to the circuit breaker that's not at all rusted out and chewed on by rats that live in the sewer, and there's no way that that's neither of those things are possible.
No, for sure.
And just reconnect it with all of your CDC electrician's knowledge.
Yeah. We
Very
first of all,
transferable skill studying diseases for a
that's
living.
all you need. If one person has got to flip the switch,
Yes.
you know the switch.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
We all know what switch it is.
Don't worry. You'll go in the room. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll know it as soon as you see it.
It's the only one that looks like it belongs in Frankenstein's lab.
Yeah. You know the one.
Sammy is his fucking name this whole time. Geppetto.
Is it Sammy?
Yeah.
I thought it started with an M.
Um,
It's Manny. It's Manny because I wrote it down and then I
Manny.
scratched it out and I wrote
Okay.
Shoe Guy because I didn't want to confuse
sure.
myself.
the most inaccurate thing about this movie is finding an accurate blueprint from the 1960s anywhere.
Oh no, they would just be laying around.
They'd be laying around undusted, unchewed by moths, and they would be pinpoint accurate to room by room. I can't even find that shit for the job sites I work at now.
Yeah, so what they do is, you see, they were just like, we're done with this. We'll leave the instructions out for the next people. You know how like when you get like electronics and you just put it away?
Yeah.
You put it back in the box with the instructions.
You don't.
So you can yard sale it.
You definitely don't take those blueprints so that you could do a thing called an as-built, which happens at an office when you have them there instead.
No, you're going to want those deep in the sewer where they're very hard to get to.
And then wet, probably. That's also bone dry, the blueprint they find.
Yeah.
Bone dry.
Well, look, there's no... In this
also,
movie...
how what are the odds that blueprint's in the one train car?
Jay.
Oh!
Jay.
Oh!
Leave it alone. Leave it the fuck alone. I got a question. How come the sewer and the subway are the same thing? How come these aren't two different things?
I mean...
In this film, they're the same thing.
They tie together storm and sanitary back in the 60s. You're going to see shit like this all the time. Shit rolls downhill, it's got to drain out somewhere. There also needs to be drainage in the subway. Just tie them together. Fuck it. What's going to happen? Sinkholes everywhere? Turns out literally yes, by the way. That's what happens.
It sounded like you said some stuff there, but I'm going to bet you just said about a bunch of nonsense, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is where he's like, hey, I'm gonna take this bandage off, and like, nah. And then there's a bug on the train. Bugs land on the train for a second, and then they're gone, just to spook you.
That's cool that happened. I didn't even clock it. So
yeah. They're just like, oh, wait a minute, and we're good. Okay.
Should have taken that left turn on Albuquerque.
Nah.
Said the bug. So this is when we're deciding who goes and who stays for this shit.
Yeah.
And earlier in this movie, on a whim, CDC guy digs into the trash and finds a positive pregnancy test. And then he spends all of one phone call trying to tell her that she's pregnant.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really...
And the reception's kind of shitty, and that's really the end of it.
Yeah, so he really just kind of leaves her to figure that out on her own, doesn't he?
Yeah, plenty of opportunity during being reunited with someone to say that.
Yeah, like I'm so happy that you're here. Like we're none of us are dead. My sperm took, by the way.
Yeah,
up inside you there. It's up there.
We should probably get you out of this sewer because all this strenuous activity is probably gonna make you shit it out later.
Yeah, I would hate for the just like the fumes to ruin the baby.
Yeah,
because like that's
also Geppetto. Go ahead and spark up, dude. No worries at all on that.
This was...
What is that extra potent self-rolled tobacco and dirty chemicals?
This is before there was warnings on cigarette packages.
Holy shit. I don't think he's seen a fucking cigarette package since he was born.
Yeah, go ahead and spark that up and blow that right in her face, please. If you could just get that up in her face and coochie, that would be beneficial for the baby. Oh.
That can was empty, don't worry. Ow.
It was mostly empty. It's good. Whoops,
my
bad.
You just throw down the Aunt Coochie and expect me not to throw my book in laughter? That's your own fault.
Oh, shit. I don't even... Yeah, so that's where we're at in the film right there.
Letting your pregnant wife even think about going to fight bugmen because she studied something nowhere close to it 3 years ago as if she didn't already get captured once.
Boy, you bring up a lot of good points there.
She doesn't go, hey, I just got fucking captured by the dirty fucking giant bug that we're trying to deal with. Just, hey, I might as well go. I'm the bug scientist.
Yeah, I know.
This is something that I didn't even know existed until 30 minutes ago.
I know more than you do. and then he's like, no, well, that's why you gotta live.
Oh, fuck.
Go live your life.
Just say you're fucking pregnant.
And then so, yeah, he's like, nah, I'm taking Manny, the old Italian man.
Yeah.
He's fucking useful. He's got a lot of
Nobody
skill.
is here. No one is.
He's got several skill.
He's really good at looking around with a Zippo lighter.
He sure is. He brings a fucking barber's blade to a fight, which I like.
Yeah.
Because why do you have that?
Straight razor like Sweeney Todd. That's so that he can. Okay, so like during the tanning, like the whole, you do have like a leather thing, and you gotta. I don't fucking know.
All right.
I have no idea.
So the CDC guy, he finds like a tunnel vent, tunnel vent, air shaft.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
And he crawls down that where he finds 2 wires that have been damaged.
Perfect. Those must be the ones.
Because they're just 2 wires.
Yeah.
So
they must be the 2 wires I need.
Yeah, you know this
in this derelict subway that's underground.
Yeah,
horribly damaged.
Thank God that these 2 wires that control the power to the entire building are just here.
First time's the charm sometimes, you know?
Dangling.
Sometimes he rolled a D20 before he crawled in the little hole.
Not even taped.
Not even remotely taped.
They're just hanging
I'm
here.
gonna grab them with my bare hands and try and shove them together.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to take these and I'm just going to do what I can.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, thank God that they're just... No wonder they're fucking busted. No wonder they're busted.
Everybody behaves like this?
Yeah. Just gonna have your wires hanging about like that. And so he, I don't know, was he like turn his head and there's a face there, but it's not a face, it's a bug.
Yeah.
And the bug's like, smells good.
Yeah, great. Oh, you smell like glands.
Yeah.
He plants one of his fucking dirty gross legs right at nut level.
He sure does.
And then walks on by.
Yeah, he does what the only thing I can assume is just is some sort of form of sniffing.
Yeah.
He opens his face up
he
and
does clicky stuff. He's smelling
like,
about.
Yeah, and honestly, the clicky thing could have been like, Mondays, am I right? Another bug day, another bug pile of shit, right?
Before... So yeah, they get lathered up with the scent gland shit before they leave, obviously. And then that's when she says, try not to sweat. They're in a hot underground sewer subway.
Oh,
thanks,
yeah.
bitch. I'll just control that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll control my ability to perspire.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm as cool as a clam.
I'm going to concentrate real hard.
Boy, oh boy, nothing spooks me.
Also, the reason why you can't sweat is because you'll emit pheromones. As if a pregnant woman wouldn't light up like a fucking Christmas tree then. You know how much extra she's got going on in there?
Jay, get your fingers out of these holes.
Oh.
Get them out of there.
Somebody's got to plug them.
So yeah, it climbs right over top of him. Doesn't give a shit that he's there. Doesn't give a fuck about what he's doing.
No.
That bug's probably on its way to get fucked.
Also, yeah, this is ironically when Geppetto is the sweatiest in the movie.
Well, and he gets it though.
He sure does.
So Geppetto, he's having better luck than he found his son.
Yeah.
Who is just hiding behind some pipes, clicking away. First of all, all he hears is just the click clack of spoons. He's like, "Oh, my boy,
yeah,
my boy, you're playing your song."
As if you hadn't heard these bugs doing this when they've been trying to kill you for hours. Also, fuck this son for killing his dad. Because guess what the click clack brings? Friends, according to him.
Well, see, here's the thing: was he telling the guy behind him like, "Hey, don't worry, he's a friend," or like he was just like, "Hey, when you turn around, don't worry, friend."
Here's my thing. He says friends in the plural, and there's 2 bug men in the room.
Okay. So
he's talking to his dad.
Well, first of all, it's the fertile male.
Yeah, sure.
And it lowers itself down like the alien in Aliens.
Yeah, that's true. That was the one behind him, and then there's 2 that are like right beside the kid also.
I missed that one. I was too concerned with the fertile male.
Yeah.
penetrating poor Giuseppe.
You remember when it took 2/3 of a movie, if not longer, for characters to realize what things are? Mm-hmm. Later on in this movie, there is an overdub line at the end.
Don't say it.
Where Susan says out loud, "It's the fertile male." We have had the male described to us as the only one that doesn't have wings. And guess what this one doesn't have? Fucking wings. Fuck movie, dude. Movie. Do you really gotta hold my hand like I'm a 5-year-old retard?
Well, they all look the same, Jay. They're bugs.
Where are the wings? The first thing you see is the bug's back, for fuck's sake. No wings on it.
Fine.
Oh!
Yeah, this is fucking. I think they come up with the conclusion that eventually these bugs are going to leave the tunnels and colonize America.
We got to deal with it by getting rid of that fertile male.
Yeah.
That's the only one. As per the conversation that I had with children earlier about fertility in males.
I was teaching them about fucking, you see, and then they sold me some bugs. I'm a scientist. It's okay.
Well, when you put it like that, Susan.
So the fertile male penetrates the simple shoe shiner.
Yeah.
Is what I wrote there.
Yeah, that's an apt description.
Yeah. And then the boy does absolutely fuck all.
No, he just looks a little upset about it.
And then he probably thinks about his father's shoes a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, fuck it. Thank God I don't have to fill those.
Yeah, because they're already full.
Yeah, of blood.
Of blood.
Same thought, same time.
Yep.
Good.
So that's I mean,
that's Giuseppe.
That's the shoe guy. Gone.
And now cut to Peter figuring out that instead of putting the two wires together because they're too far apart and he can't pull it any closer, I'm gonna stick my fucking glasses that are busted anyway, complete the circuit by putting them in between the two fucking charged spots, and then I'm gonna turn it on. As if that wouldn't immediately fry out the thin metal, shorting everything.
Yeah.
And ruining this plan.
Yeah. And as if he needed these glasses at all because he sees just fine afterwards.
Not only does he see just fine, and you know that he does, because he pulls out the fucking blueprint after they get smashed, and one of the lenses is cracked, so he just busts it out and reads it anyway.
So he was wearing 3D glasses
without
the lenses.
What are those fucking glasses for, nerd?
He just wants to look smart.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got that. Security guy gets the train moving because the lights are on now.
Yeah, it's just he's trained in 30-year-old technology.
Yeah, the security guard knew an awful lot about wires that were
also, he's not even a train conductor.
No. And like this is such an old subway system. Why do you know these things? You're a security guard. All you know is making sure that people aren't stealing bread.
Yeah, or homeless, apparently, just around.
Yeah, all you're good for is beating up people.
He does a pretty good job at operating a train also, because he immediately fumbles at a whole fire extinguisher onto his leg and makes it even worse.
Oh, yeah. He I thought it was like a bucket or something fell. He's like, I'm bleeding. Don't come in here. I'm bleeding.
Yeah, it's really cool when you guys make a plan and then just fuck everything up.
Can I just fucking bleed for a second? Jesus. And so the bugs are on their way. So everybody hides while the security guard gets bugged.
He decides to self-sacrifice and he gets his whole face chomped.
Oh, he sure does.
Best death in the movie.
I don't know at what point he reloaded his gun, but he unloads another questionable amount of bullets into this thing.
Didn't know you brought your clips with you into the sewer.
Yeah, no, but face chomped. You thought that one was the best one? I like the dude getting sucked back down into the ground and pulled the table up off the ground and down to the hole.
Yeah. Well, that one was good because you get to just watch the life drain from his face.
Yeah, I enjoyed just the second you knew it had his legs because just blood shot out.
Yeah. Also, that bug's an asshole because he's ruining his own house.
Yeah. Oh,
knocking tables over, fucking sewing machine. That's just shit he's got to clean up.
Just painting the walls red.
Yeah. Also that.
So at some point they're just like, get in this fucking thing, you idiot kid. It's the cage. It's the cage. That's what.
Yeah.
Imagine.
They find this fucking dumbwaiter, and then this is when, and his fucking name's Leonard. Yep. Decides to let himself get bugged for the better of everybody because he's the only one bleeding. They make him sing another Negro spiritual. Didn't need it.
No.
Also, yeah, blood's really important, but I imagine a crying child would probably draw more attention than some blood.
You would think, but no.
Apparently not.
No, it's the blood, man.
Yeah.
They're like bears. They smell that shit.
Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, so imagine this, a child who just saw his only parent eaten alive.
Yeah.
Not exactly willing to be forced into a tiny cage.
Yeah, no, it's...
That's okay.
Usually if those two things happen in quick succession, nobody sees you again.
Yeah, give that child a minute. He's processing some shit.
You know what?
You're just like, get in the cage, little boy.
My earlier point about him just going out of the window willy-nilly, if this child had been properly crate trained, neither of these issues would have occurred.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's always important to crate train your orphan.
That's where you should put him anyway if he's just fucking leaving all the time.
So the fucking fertile male crashes through the roof. That happens.
There's a chain on this dumbwaiter that Susan's inside of it with him, and it cranks her in the face. I don't know if you saw that. It
No.
swings back, and I imagine it was probably made of rubber or plastic.
I missed that.
But it does smack her right in the eye.
I love it.
So they're going up the dumbwaiter, right?
Yep.
And this fertile male goes, huh, what's that, the cable for the dumbwaiter? I'll just sit here and cut it. When the fuck did the bug get that smart?
Was it the male or was it just another bug? Because I think it gets crushed by the dumbwaiter after that.
It doesn't because it comes back. It just survives being crushed by the dumbwaiter.
Sure, why not?
It decides that it's clever, and to get at these people, I'm just gonna cut the cable. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then they slam down, and
it gets like jammed or something. It doesn't go all the way down.
she puts a fucking block of wood in it, and then he pokes a hole in the ceiling, and tries to get them that way, and then they escape, and then it falls with him in it.
Yeah, he comes up through the bottom.
Yeah,
and then See, I thought that was just another one because I thought the male was chasing the guy.
That could be.
But
then the male's the only one that gets out at the end.
Yeah, I don't know because the guy's just like, it ends here, and he goes to like the egg room.
Yeah, that CDC guy. Those are just other bugs.
Okay, all right.
I think the male's just chasing this woman and kid the whole time.
Because like the plan, like their whole plan was like destroy the male. The male is the one with the thick ropey loads that keep making these bugs.
Yeah,
and he keeps squirting inside of so many ladies and just having these ropey loads come out.
Fucking God.
So I thought that was he was taking care of that situation all at once.
Well, I mean, for some reason I wrote my notes. Male gets dumbwaitered.
Yeah, I thought it was too, and then I was like, I don't know, is it the other bug? These all these bugs look the same.
Yeah. So fucking CDC goes down to the goddamn egg room, and he decides I'm gonna nip this problem in the bud, like in Godzilla 2000. And he floods the area. Okay, guys, this is the most important part of the movie.
We're at the peak, the climax.
Bugs are encroaching on him. He floods the room with gas. He's got the Zippo from, I think, Giuseppe. And he goes to light it, but nah, man, it's not lighting. So he's like, oh, fuck. The one smart decision that I saw anybody in this movie make was because there's gas in the room, just hit a piece of metal with a piece of metal. It's fine. And it is. And then the room explodes with all the bugs in it. It explodes so hard that Susan, who's at the ground floor, gets blown off the platform by the fireball. Lands in the subway. Kid is also fine in the subway. Male, despite having fallen down the dumbwaiter at least, but at worst, being in the room of the explosion, also fine and in the subway. And now he wants the kid.
He sure does.
So Susan goes, that's the fertile male. Great, thanks for telling me now.
Yeah, also...
As if I didn't fucking know, bitch.
Also, like, male is fine. I don't need to hear about how fucking ropey his loads are.
Dude, this male has got a fucking grapefruit for a sack.
This male is so fertile.
Just a little bit of snake venom will get you.
He's so fertile you can smell it. Yeah, he fucking pickaxes the convenient gas pipes in the egg room. That was so good.
Yeah.
My question is, Jay, to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a Zippo lighter and you do the
Yeah.
ain't that making a spark?
That creates a spark, Matt. You're right. Glossed over it because I wasn't looking exactly at the Zippo lighter to see if there was a spark or not. If it's wet, the flint's wet, then it won't. So I was like, fine benefit.
I mean, Giuseppe's been using this to light his path the whole time.
Light his path and his cancer sticks in front of a pregnant woman.
Yeah, during that scene, he pulls up, like, he's on a grate, and he notices that underneath the grate is water.
Yeah.
That's where the Zippo lighter falls.
So it's wet.
Yeah, he pulls up the grate, the explosion happens, and he manages to dive into the water just in time.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Me too.
I call hard bullshit on that because I didn't see him go anywhere in that explosion. I saw the explosion envelop him and all of the bugs around him.
And then you see him splash like Flipper under the water.
Damn it.
Yup.
I'm furious.
Well,
I'll tell you why, because I didn't see that, and I thought he was dead, and then suddenly wasn't at the end.
No.
Just because movie, and that's why I've been pissed the whole time.
No, oh, well, I'm pissed about the end of the movie for a different reason.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so yeah, he jumps into some water, which saves his fucking life.
Yeah, sure.
And he somehow makes it, even though they've done two sweeps of the place.
Yeah. Well, they didn't sweep hard enough. It's still dirty.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
Here's where I wrote, the male comes out and starts going after the boy, and I'm like, is she calling the boy Jewy or Chewy? Because I know it's not Joey anymore. It can't be.
Oh.
And then, so the male comes staggering, it goes after the boy, and then she's like yelling at it to get its attention, and nothing's working, Jay.
Yeah.
So she has to.
That's right.
So she has to cut herself to get some attention. That's what she does. She cuts herself to get a little attention.
She misses the important area, though. It's just on her hand.
No, she just needs a little blood.
Okay,
that's all
fine.
to get this thing's attention. That's all she needs.
Yeah, works right away, though.
Yeah. And you know, what luck? Here comes a fucking subway train.
Oh, dude, perfect. Oh yeah, tell me about that. Oh yes. Oh, at this point, like my hands have been thrown up so many times that I wasn't even surprised.
Yeah, me either. It seemed about right that like that subway train would come silently. You'd never hear it coming.
Yeah.
And like
fluctuate in the speed that it's traveling so that she can conveniently at the last minute jump out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And then the vacuum created by the air displacement didn't suck her into the train at all, even though that's what happens.
Yeah, no, and also Chewy or Jewy or whatever, just fine.
Just fine.
He made it out of the way, don't worry about him.
Somehow he knows exactly how to elude a subway, despite probably never being on one, because all he does is make a scene.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, and so it cut to emergency crews are on the scene, because guess what? That fireball... It actually it blew up like a city block.
Yeah, cars exploded.
Like it popped manhole covers off.
And then the explosion continued enough to blow cars up.
Yeah, it gatored itself. Picture alligator.
Or Chud.
Chud. A lot of sewer movies end the same fucking way, eh?
Well, and there's not really a whole lot of good... Unless you just have a man drowning into a baby.
That's fair.
I don't know what else.
That's fair.
So, yeah, reuniting scene, and then fucking up the stairs from the subway comes Peter totally unscathed.
Yeah.
And I lost it, but that's fine. Turns out he dove into some fucking water when I blinked.
Even though, this guy was like, hey, yeah, we swept it down there, and, nothing could survive. Well, how about a human? Nah, not even a guy. Not even a guy could survive down there.
Not even a guy named Peter who's your husband.
Now, I'm gonna walk away. And now I want you and the autistic boy to wait there at the stairs and just count all the shoes. Because that's what he does.
We know he loves that.
And he stands there and he's like, yeah, there's a shoe.
It's not...
that's a good shoe there, too.
Yeah, it's not my first rodeo with this boy.
And then...
oh, yeah, they do the thing where it's the same shape as the bug.
I think so.
At the bottom of the stairs, and then as he comes out of the light, it's fucking Peter.
I think so.
Suck my dick.
And
of course I'm not going to think it's a bug. I just watched all of them die.
Yeah. And so he comes out and then listen, Jay.
I'm listening.
So we know why you didn't like.
Yeah.
And I fixed that for you.
You did.
So now here you're gonna fix this for me.
Sure.
How come when he comes up out of the sewer and they embrace, what he says to her is, "We're gonna have a baby." Why is in the middle of this hug is it's the boy.
Kid's there.
What was the boy? Why isn't they told the boy to fuck off? Like, we're not raising you. Get out of here. You're an orphan boy. Get out of here.
Well,
your father got munched. You watched him get munched. I found his remains. Get out of here. You saw me.
Susan got blown off of a train platform by an explosion.
Yeah,
They probably want a safety for when she inevitably miscarries.
that's fair. To be honest, I was just like, I forgot that she was pregnant. And I was like, so what? Is it a bug baby? Did he learn that somehow there's bug babies inside of him?
I wasn't a fan of the way he whispered that.
Yeah,
into
because
her
it
ear.
was voiced right over.
Yeah, of course it was.
And
So was that's the fertile male. I want you to know that.
Oh, we're gonna have a baby.
Somebody way too enthusiastic about post effects in the studio.
Oh, right next to this boy, I want to tell you about the cum I put in you. And how it's formed a child in your belly. We're gonna have a baby. You hear that, boy who is still here for some reason?
You want to learn something worse than shoes?
Don't you have family to go to?
No.
Don't you have a bed behind a curtain where your dad... Oh, boy.
If there's one thing I know is that autistic children don't like change very much, so they're going to have to put him back.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, that's a loud apartment now.
Well, he's going to have to deal with the change of not seeing fucking...
His father ever again?
Well, his father's Danny DeVito ass just plopping just skin on skin on whatever street walking sex worker he's picked up that he has to pull that curtain back for.
Pull back the curtain, and I have to turn on the lights on the other side so there's no silhouette.
There's always a silhouette.
Yeah.
The worst puppet show imaginable.
This puppetry of the penis, Matt.
Here's the Sears catalog. Look at the shoes and plug your ears.
Yeah, he's not looking at the shoes in the Sears catalog.
He better be.
He like jerks off with spoons.
Oh, I don't like it. Well, that's the end of the movie. It literally ends with panning down to the boy being like, I don't have a family.
Being at dick height with his eyes shut. 2 out of 10 for mimic. Prompt 2 out of 10 for mimic. And one of those points was because of the face chomp, and the other point was for Negro spirituals. Because that was a horrible choice.
I gave it 3.
I'm glad they're both low. I was worried.
Yeah, honestly, I've heard of this movie. I don't even know if I've heard good things about it. And to be honest, if I hear a good thing about it, now I know they're a fucking liar.
Yeah, I got this movie fully and completely mixed up with Species in my head.
Is it Species? I think or Cocoon.
Yeah,
there's some movie.
One of those two. And then there's a Body Snatchers with a similar. It's a face splitting open. I think it's from the 90s as well.
Okay, all right. Well,
fucking movie.
If it's better than this, I'll watch it. But
yeah.
Listen,
pissed.
This one was a stinker.
It sure was,
and it had a lot of potential.
Let's spend fucking 3.5 to 4 hours talking about it though.
For sure. Oh well, I mean, we got mad. It was a floater like the dead dogs.
It lingers
like the dead dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And floaters. I got 3 for you.
Okay.
All right, I'm coming with the bangers. I want you to know that.
Oh, thank God, because I really muffed up this week.
The first one, it's specific enough, but I still made it vague enough that it might be. It's a little known fact about the movie, so it might still be hard to guess.
Okay.
Attempt to cure disease causes an outbreak.
Okay.
The second one I have invasive species. Mm-hmm. And the third one is metamorphosis. Ooh. These ones are not easy. I know that.
They're not easy.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not easy. I think my heart right now is telling me which one to go for because I think I know what it is.
Okay.
But my heart is also being like, I don't think that's it, because why would it be? You know, it's
Okay.
like invasive species has got to be
Yeah.
the bay, right?
No, it's not.
Fuck. Okay,
I
thanks.
skipped the bay this time.
That's
for this.
what I was thinking. Okay.
I would have said parasitic.
So we got breakout, invasive
An
species.
attempt to cure a disease causes an outbreak like this one, like
Okay.
this movie.
Okay. And then
Outbreak of horrible bugmen.
what was the third one?
And the third one was metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Let's go metamorphosis.
Okay. Not to be confused with shapeshifting, because then Stephen King's It would have been on the table.
Oh god, and that would be
And it also takes place in a sewer, and I feel like it's getting rote at the moment.
yeah.
Metamorphosis, eh? Mm-hmm. Well, buckle up for another 4-hour-long podcast, because we're fucking watching The Thing.
What a wonderful day to be alive. What great news.
I looked up the runtime, and I think it's marginally shorter than Mimic.
Well, which one are we watching?
Oh, the Kurt Russell one.
The Kurt Russell one. Good.
We can worry about the one where they cast a woman for no reason later.
I need
Except for inclusion, which is fine, but it's also, when she can't act, a dumb choice.
I need Kurt Russell with a flamethrower in my life.
That's
so
what you're going to get.
That's what I want.
You're also going to get a dog looking horrible.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, that poor dog.
For an attempt to cure a disease that causes an outbreak, Resident Evil.
Okay. All right.
And for invasive species, The Ruins.
I've not heard of The Ruins, but I would be down for Resident Evil at some point.
I hear you saying that you've not heard of The Ruins. And I am inclined to believe that is another Drunk My Basement movie. Because I've seen it many times.
That could be.
Aztec temple with dirty plants on it.
I mean, maybe. It sounds like every Aztec temple I've ever heard of, though.
These ones are particularly bad.
Fair.
Anyway.
All right.
I told you I was coming with bangers. I'm coming with fucking bangers. Watching The Thing. The Ruins is easily the worst movie. That's a banger because it's horrible. But I had a 2 good, 1 bad. I like that ratio.
2 good, 1. All right. I'm stoked because I've been waiting for this movie the entire time.
And I haven't seen it for a while.
Good.
I'm so sick.
I want a face spider.
I tell you, I hope it's airtight, or else I'm pissed.
It has to be.
It's too good.
Yeah, it's
too good to get shit on for 3 hours.
We've been hyping it up far too much.
I literally referenced it in this episode.
Whew.
Fuck yeah, man.
I thought that you were gonna do Alien
For which one?
For this. I figured Alien was gonna be in there somewhere, but I couldn't pick it out which one it would be.
I was tempted to do Covenant, but I fucking hate it. And I wasn't ready to hate it all over again.
Fair enough. All right, well, I'm gonna take it.
Also on the list for this one, I wrote a bunch, and then I narrowed them down to the ones I wanted the most. For invasive species would have been Cloverfield, and for metamorphosis, you know Annihilation, the Natalie Portman joint.
I've heard of it. And
then Antlers, which is one I've wanted to watch for a while and I haven't.
Antlers is good.
You just know that. Fuck you for having seen it.
I think I've seen it. Oh no, I'm thinking of Horns.
Okay, no, that Horns ain't a horror movie.
I know, it's still a good movie though. Daniel Radcliffe, Horns.
Antlers is about something far different.
Oh, I just want Daniel Radcliffe with horns. Well, that's the podcast.
If you want Daniel Radcliffe, we got to watch The Woman in Black, and it's also bad.
It is. So is the second one.
Oh, I imagine, because it can't have him in it because he dies.
Yep. So
I would feel bad about spoiling it, but fuck that movie. Mediocre, fine.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Watch anything else. Watch the play where he's nude behind a horse.
Nice,
yeah.
Sure.
That's something he did. I don't know. Swiss Army Man and Harry Potter, for God's sakes. Watch anything else.
Guns Akimbo.
Oh, that's a good one.
See?
I haven't seen it, but it's a good one.
But yeah, you don't need to.
I just
know
know
a guy with guns nailed to his hands.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Great premise.
What else do you need?
I'm in.
Right up there with Hardcore Henry. I care about both equally.
And
I could make this podcast 5 hours long by sitting here and talking about movies that are good.
No,
everybody would hate that.
Well, we just talked about one that was bad for 3.
Yeah. Grindhouse Movie Club.
That's the podcast.
There's a cat playing with a box out there.
Nah, she's shitting hard.
Well, that's technically playing with a box because it's a box of litter.
Hey! 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 I tried to scot out of her, but... All right.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Let's talk about her litter.